Hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of the After Hours podcast. On today's episode, it's a real special one for us. This was an amazing one. We have Kay from SUPRLIFE here for the second time. I can't say enough good things about this episode, so I'm just going to let you guys listen to it and we'll jump right into it. But before that, I have to mention, we are doing a stance coilover giveaway on our website. Every $5 gets you one entry, and if you buy any of our Faction merch, you will be getting double entries. So I would definitely check that out. We gave away a Origin Lab body kit last month. We're doing coilovers this month, and we're going to keep trying to do this every month. So make sure you check out our website. And if you want to enter to win anything, just spend at least $5 and you'll be entered. And now a quick word from our sponsors before we dive into this episode. This podcast is sponsored by East Coast Drift School. East Coast Drift School is a driving school focused on learning the art of drifting. Conveniently located at the greatest drifting facility in the United States, Raceway Park in Englishtown, New Jersey. Raceway Park currently has 3 tracks, so you will have a few options to choose from when setting up your lessons. Chris Knapp, who is part of the Raceway Park family, will be your teacher as he guides you through car setup and technique. If you are more of a seasoned driver, East Coast Drift School is also the place where you can get some extra seat time. Chris allows private track time with no instructing as well, so that you can get some test and tune runs in before that big event or competition you have coming up. Instead of spending the night dodging the police with your boys, consider signing up with East Coast Drift School the next time they release their schedule. Chris releases the schedule on the 16th of every month through Instagram. Make sure to check them out, give them a follow, and shoot over a direct message when you are ready to set up a date. You can find them on Instagram at East Coast Drift School. Chase Bays has been a household name in our industry for over 15 years, supplying us with tons of fluid power products such as power steering cooler kits, oil catch cans, engine oil coolers, hydraulic handbrake kits, and of course, their dual piston brake booster delete kits, which fit a wide variety of vehicles. The core values of Chase Bays is function, simplicity, quality, and aesthetic. All of their products are user-friendly and easy to install, while of course looking the part. The quality of their products has only increased over the years, and now with Front Street Drift Club being a sponsored team of Chase Bays, you can guarantee the products are stress tested as well. I'm currently digging their compact intercooler sprayer reservoir kit. This kit includes a pump and pigtail to wire it up to any switch you want. I've been a big fan of sleek looking OEM style intercooler sprayers ever since Subaru had one on the STI, and this kit provides you with what you need to get started. If you need any more info on any of their products, make sure to take a look at their product descriptions. They have some of the most detailed descriptions I've read with tons of information. You can check out Chase Bays products and place your orders directly on our website at FactionMotorsports.com, and make sure to use the coupon code ChaseBaysAfterHours with no spaces to save on checkout. This podcast is also sponsored by Automotive Specialty Wraps. Automotive Specialty Wraps is a company specializing in paint protection film, vehicle wraps, ceramic coatings, and window tinting located in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Owned and operated by car enthusiasts and drifters, their technicians have over 10 years of experience in the industry. Ceramic coating is one of their specialties and is the service they offer that caught my eye first. In the 60s, NASA and the US military formulated a ceramic coating to be used on spacecraft and planes. This coating would be able to protect them from harsh conditions. Following that, in the early 2000s, ceramic coatings were revamped to be used in the automotive industry. These coatings give your car's paint extra protection while also making it shine. Wax only lasts for a couple of weeks at most, but ceramic coatings last for a year or longer. They perform a full 2-stage polish to the car beforehand to make sure the vehicle is in perfect condition before applying the coating. This service can also be applied to wheels, which would be the best thing you can do to a new set of wheels you just picked up, if you are looking to protect them for years to come. As mentioned, they also offer window tinting and paint protection film installations. Now, everyone knows what window tinting is, but these guys offer carbon or ceramic tinting depending on your needs. Paint protection film, or PPF, is a great idea for those new vehicle owners that want to protect their paint before it gets chipped up driving down the highway. I always suggest having at least the front end done in PPF, like the front bumper, fenders, and hood. ASW is now offering mobile detailing, and this is no basic car wash. It's more of a 2-hour spa session for your car using special soaps designed to extract toxins out of your paint. And the best part is they will come to your house, job, or even to our shop when your car is being serviced to get the wash done. From protecting your tow rig's exterior to full livery installations on your drift car, they have you covered. You can contact them at automotivespecialtywraps.com and make sure to mention our podcast. They are currently offering 10% off mobile washes and tinting services for our listeners. Limitless Auto Fab is a fabrication shop and retailer located in Illinois. They produce bash bars and catch cans for a bunch of popular models in the drifting community. We started selling their products earlier this year and have heard nothing but great things since. Limitless bash bars are honestly the industry standard right now. Fabricated from 1.5-inch mild steel tubes, these bars are designed to take the impact of light collisions in order to avoid or minimize damage to your body or frame. My favorite part about these bash bars is that they are designed in a way that helps hold most aftermarket bumpers up at the correct height. Unlike a lot of other aftermarket bars that require you to either weld additional brackets on or install those big foam rubber pieces to raise the bumpers up to avoid bumper sag. This is a huge pet peeve of mine when installing bash bars at the shop, so I'm really glad about this feature. Gone are the days of trying to keep your rusty rear factory crash bar because you are worried about bumper fitment issues with an aftermarket one. Their bars also come with jacking points and optional license plate brackets, so everything you need is right there from the start. Limitless Auto also sells catch cans for a handful of specific models. These cans are built in-house and chassis specific. We have used these cans before in the shop with no issues, and they look great as well. The guys over at Limitless are on social media as well at limitless_auto_fab. So please make sure to check out their Instagram and give them a follow. They post photos of all the drift cars using their products, from Front Street Drift Club to Animal Style. If you are in the market for a bash bar or catch can, make sure to check out their full product lineup on our website, FactionMotorsports.com. This podcast is brought to you by Faction Motorsports. We are an automotive performance shop located in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our shop is easy to get to from Route 17, 3, and 21. We are also only 15 minutes away from New York City. Faction Motorsports provides services that include, but are not limited to, performance part installations, suspension overhauls, general maintenance, engine installations, tire mounting and balancing, and custom four-wheel alignments with our in-house Hunter alignment machine. We also stock a range of performance products in-house. From AN fittings and gaskets to complete body kits, we try to stock as many parts as we can to provide quick shipping times for our website customers and same-day pickup for locals. Make sure to shoot us an email if you are looking to set up an appointment or if you are looking for a part that is not up on our website. Our email is sales@factionmotorsports.com. We are also on Instagram at Faction Motorsports. All right,
on your go, Malcolm. You're good. Oh, okay. Well, welcome everybody to the Faction After Hours podcast. We're here to bring you another episode. While Malcolm just randomly said it's good to start,
he's been doing that now.
He's just like, "All right, you're good," and now we're awkwardly just sitting here.
You were like already talking, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, you've been recording."
We're here to bring you another guest. We got SUPRLIFE K, one of my favorite people to have on the podcast. Welcome, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Just because you got you like engage in a conversation where you really get your point across, and I like that, you know?
Thank you, man. I mean, I try. I mean, I like having conversations, especially when it's things I enjoy talking about.
Yeah.
Also, Carl's been getting into some body work, so.
Dude, I was going to say, so aside from that.
I'm sorry to hear, man.
No. Aside from that podcast, like, we got to talk a lot about you. If you haven't listened to that podcast with Kay earlier on, I'm talking like early.
Yeah.
Maybe episode 30.
Yeah, Malcolm, if you could find out what number that was.
I don't know what episode that was, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was way back. It had to have been at least 2 years.
Dude.
Yeah.
At least 2 years.
And since then, from that pod, it grew into, I talked to Josh Roloffs too, and just doing side work. And then I met one of my closest friends now, Diego, who does paint. I think I mentioned him earlier, the whole glass mishap. I picked Gordino, Emperor Uno.
Oh, no,
he's not from around here.
He's from Georgia.
No, I thought it would have been someone I know.
No. But thanks to that pod, I delved into it. Like
nice,
I painted
good shit.
Episode
7 cars.
so.
Episode 33.
Yeah.
Painted
Full cars? Entire cars? Wow.
Yeah, 7 cars last year, and then like a bunch of kits in between.
Wow.
And they're not, it's not like crazy special, but like, remember, there was one message that pod delivered to me, and it was like, just go out and fucking try it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
Just
did.
do it. Yeah.
So I literally just started doing it.
If you wait to be perfect, you're never going to start.
That
You're
is-
never going to start.
Dude, that is the most
and
important
like, I'm
thing.
just so I don't want to sound like I'm bitching or whatever, but I'm just so tired of being around people that keep saying they're going to do something and just never start. I'd rather you do it and it come out okay rather than just not doing it at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just the best way you learn is just do it.
Yeah.
Just go out and do it.
Dude, no, for real.
It's good shit.
That was
from
from our pod, dude. Like
it was, right? It was. I did say that.
Yes.
Yeah, nice, man.
From
good shit.
our
I'm
pod
glad that it
2 years
helped.
ago to now, I have learned so much random bullshit along the way of like just how to be around body stuff. Not that, you know, obviously there's a whole encyclopedia of shit to know.
Yes.
But just little things. Like I remember you said like if you heard somebody sanding, you could probably tell that person is sanding it wrong.
I could tell.
Right away.
I could just hear it.
Right away.
Yeah, I could just
and
hear it.
I didn't know what that meant until I was sanding and I was like, this is coming out kind of like shit. And then when you sand it,
Dude, there's
just this feeling sound that it makes, and you're like, oh yeah, that's good to sand.
People just, when you say sand, it's just people think it's to get from point A to point B. It needs to be sanded. Okay, but what makes you experience is knowing when to stop, is knowing how to start, when to start, where to start. Like, there's so many ways to go about it. It's not just getting there. There's no finished. And sometimes you can just start to sand and you're like, okay, I think it's good. And it's good. It goes up. And you get to a point where it's perfect. And if you keep going, it starts going down again. And then you got to go back. You got to put some more shit on or just do steps over again. You're just taking steps back.
This is giving me like PTSD when I would have to like do body work on my car.
No,
because now I understand what you're saying. With that.
there is such thing as too much. And that's where the art aspect comes in because it's not, and I'm not putting down any other aspect of the car world when it comes to installing a manifold or whatever. But when you install a manifold, you just tighten it up and whatever. You just go on, it's done. There's a right way to do it. But when it comes to sanding or whatever it may be, there's a finesse to it where the experience is, okay, I have to stop here because I need to get to here and I need to do this. And that comes with time. That comes with constantly doing it. I remember being an apprentice and sanding. And my mentor at the time, John, I would be like, I'm done. He would come, he would feel it.
Yeah, he touches it.
He would just touch it. He's like, oh God, this feels like shit.
God.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I put all my effort and time into this. This is wild. And he would just coat the whole hood over again. He'd be like, do it again. I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did he feel that I didn't feel? So obviously, not only did I learn how to do it better, but I also learned how to spot where it was wrong, why he spotted those things and I couldn't spot them, how he was going to search for them. So those things, again, they come with time. He can't teach me, feel this a different way. It comes with time. That comes with knowing what the results are from doing this process.
Dude, you know what else I noticed is that sometimes, or what I do like about bodywork is that for the most part, so your system is going to be different than Joe Schmo's system over there.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
Smo Joe over there. They're all different.
Smojo, dude. He's good, dude.
Everybody is like kind of just making their own system. So I kind of like that.
I love that.
Just because you let's say you taught me something that maybe that podcast one, like sanding, don't like this. Use your side of your fingers so that it's like, it's not a block, but it's better than going like this because then you see your hands.
Certain things are better than other. Yeah, okay.
But like little things like that, it's like, okay, how can I take that, make it work for what I do in my everyday real quick? Just little mental notes that people drop on you sometimes when having a conversation.
There's so many different ways to get there. And I love that part about it.
Love it.
Because it's so cool because it's like, I don't know, like when I teach people, not that I teach people, but whenever people have worked for me, the way I teach them, I put so much emphasis on this is not the right way. Not that it's the wrong way, but this is my way. And there are so many things I did a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago that I don't do now.
Oh my God, that is
because I'm just constantly changing my ways. And, people assume that when they're watching you now, that you're the best now. Like, brother, no, I'm still trying. I'm still trying my best. I'm still getting better. So those processes, the many ways to get there, they're always being changed. They always should be changed because you're never perfect. You're never the master you're trying to be. You're trying to get there and acquire that. But the process always changes, and that part is beautiful. I love that aspect of it. at the same time, it causes a lot of argument because let's say someone who knows what they're doing can come in to my studio and they could look around and they could be like, dude, you're a hack, brother. You suck. Because it just might not be his process. But like, see, that's where the argument is. Like, if I saw someone else's process, I'm not going to come in and call you a hack. I would have 10 years ago because I didn't understand it yet. Now I won't because I'm like, all right, dude, like the end results speak for themselves. You're not always going to stand next to your finished work. You need the finished work to speak for itself. And that alone, like, I just, like, it is what it is.
That's how bodywork is, though. Yeah. Because there's so many ways to do something.
So many different ways.
So one person could watch some video of someone sanding something, whatever, using Bondo, whatever it is. And then they'll see you do something else, and they'll be like, "Oh, but that's not the way you're supposed to do it."
That's wrong. Oh, this and this. You're an idiot, dude. I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean,
we deal with the same stuff here, like with people like watching a how-to install video.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll see us, and they'll be like, "Oh, but yeah, if you guys did it this way, I think," and it's like, okay.
And isn't that the worst? Like, I just want someone else.
End result speaks.
End results. Speak for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being undeniable. That's it. Being undeniable for your process to be like, when they see it, they're like, obviously it works. It looks good. So I mean, you can't say shit.
Be undeniable.
Be undeniable.
That's
being undeniable
is a word of advice.
Am I too laid back right now?
I want to push.
Okay, I'm good, right?
I want to push you a little bit that way.
Frank, you said you're getting too close to Frank.
No.
Am I too like? I'm sorry. I never sit up straight in chairs, man.
That's fine. It's because you know why? You're fucking spending all day like this.
I am. I'm always hunched over. I'm like a permanent hunchback.
No, I'll tell you what it was. Because when you look at him and now you look at me, you're going to be on the mic still. Before it was like this, it would be like you'd look at him, you're on the mic,
and then
I'm
like,
off the mic. Yeah. That's the only thing I'm trying to fix.
Yeah. Got it.
No, everything else is good.
You know what I do like though? The double-edged sword that is the beautiful thing of the internet, right? It's great, but it's also not great. Is Facebook groups, old custom painter Facebook groups, right? It's my favorite thing to look at. The comments section.
The comments, okay.
Most of the time, it's just some guy who's going, it's my first time doing flames. The job is absolutely perfect. I'm like, all right, go fuck yourself. I go look at the comments. It's a lot of older generation painters, because it's Facebook.
Yeah.
Arguing.
You
crazy.
suck, dude. You're horrible at what
Why
you do.
would you apply the filler there? Or you should have used this product and that. And then
it's a funky world.
What I get to do, or what I like to do, I don't know if this is what anybody else out there is doing, but I'll like, since I get to observe it from such a macro level, I try to see what it is that they're arguing about, what issue it is in that video. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I could just negate that by doing it like this and applying my own little sprinkle to it. And I'm like, might work, might not, try it out.
You can still take something positive from it, because the intent, when you read it, obviously there's going to be some arguments and all that shit. But I mean, the point is, like, if you think about it, the guys are just trying to do a better job.
They're
really all it comes down to.
They want to help them.
They really just want to help. It might be a horrible way to do it. It might be very mean. But in the end, they're really trying to help. So I'm not on those pages because it's a little bit toxic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But when it does pop up, I'm not gonna lie, I've learned certain things. Maybe it's not things that I apply, it might be big, but certain tips, certain things that might happen, certain steps, I always take.
Little things.
I'm always open to learn.
Always.
Always.
Like, here's an example of like a tip that I found the other day for small pieces. You know, like those, it's like a roll of like fucking, like maybe half an inch thick metal with like holes in it. Just a big roll of it comes out. And this guy was like, I was painting motorcycle fairings the other day. I need to make a stand. I keep a roll of this stuff on me. It's pretty cheap. Make stands out of it. Put on the stand so it's not teetering.
I see.
You can make the brace, cut it to size, bend it. It's pretty. It holds a structure.
I love those tips.
I was like, hell yeah. Mental note. Like fucking.
Yeah. I love those notes. I save all that because those things, like the way that guy learned, however he learned his process, and this applies to anything. He learned it however the hell he learned it. It took him X amount of years. He just taught you this thing that it took him years to learn in 10 seconds.
That's so true.
That applies to people you teach. That applies to your apprentice, to you being an apprentice, to whatever. Like, if you think about it, this guy that you want to learn from, he's teaching you everything in just seconds. So
Yeah.
those little tips are amazing. Like they're putting gold out there,
Dude.
Yeah.
Gold.
It's a
out
good
there.
thing you're in that group.
And I don't like that. I mean, I don't like when people gatekeep like info, because sharing this kind of stuff, tips, is imperative for my craft to go on.
Keep going.
Because it's getting less and less and less people. I don't know if it's because it's a hard job. I don't know if it's because for whatever reason, but there's less people doing it. So people need to continue on and, you know, share that stuff, especially in an age where it's easy to share info. 100%, because it really is a dying art.
I don't know why it.
I was just gonna ask. Yeah.
So there's like there's another. I'm friends with a younger guy. He made eyelids for the IS300
In fiberglass and
fiberglass. But he did it not the way I did. I just make one-off parts. If I want to make something, I lay some HVAC tape, tinfoil, whatever, plastic wrap, sand,
just so it doesn't stick.
Make
you
it
put the fiberglass, you pop it off.
But it's just for me with no intent of reproduction. This guy was, in my opinion, a kid when I was first talking to him, Jack Dunlap, and then made molds, produced them. And I was like, what the actual fuck, dude? That right there is somebody who is, I mean, in a sample size so large, there's like a one guy. I hate to pump his head up, Jack, fuck you. But it's always the same complaint. It's always like, it's messy.
It really is.
But it's
shitty. It really is shitty. It's messy. There's a lot of things that are not good for you as far as when you're working, breathing shit in. But whatever it is, things take time. It's a really grueling process. And the money isn't amazing for selling these parts when you consider how much time you're putting into each one. It makes sense why people charge so much for body kits.
Yeah.
I guarantee if someone works on fiberglass shit on their own and they try to make something, they're gonna understand why people charge what they charge,
dude,
for the fiberglass shit.
Fibers all over your hands. You try to get them off in the shower. You get out of the shower. There's still fiberglass stuck to your fingers. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go back in here to get these off. It's not a fun time, but I like it because it's rewarding. You make something at the end. You get to look at it. You hold it. You're touching it. It exists. It's real. And
you created something.
Awesome.
That's why I got so into this at the start. This craft was the most rewarding of feelings when I got something done and I made something. It was just, and not only did I make something, I made something that makes something look better. The car makes it look better when I'm making something exterior piece. So it was really a good feeling to do. And I'm like, people would ask, they're like, oh, I really like this bumper. I like this rear bumper or the side skirt or the wing, whatever the hell. And then they would ask, they're like, oh, where'd you get this from? And I'm like,
I made it.
I made it. I made it. They're like, what? How'd you make this? I'm like, ain't no big deal. But like, it was, it's like a shallow feeling to feel good about it because you're like, yeah, I made it. But it is a good feeling.
I know.
You made this shit. And as time goes on, when the shit you're making becomes better and better, you start to impress yourself. Like I was never really big into making molds and all that stuff. Again, I also like making stuff that are like one-off, specific for the customer.
Just because you like it.
It's just I never had a goal of being mass market type thing. I don't really care about making many things and then selling it to many cars. I'll have limited runs of things, but like never permanent.
I'm with that. It loses the specialness.
And I like the special part of it. Financially, it's not a good move.
Let me just put this damn on my money real quick.
I'm gonna put a cap on it just because it's cool, but it is what it is.
God.
But making it is like I don't know, when it's one off, especially when it's for the customer. Like sometimes I make things for customers and it's one off pieces, and thankfully sometimes they look real good. And it feels good when a possible customer he reaches out and he's like, hey, I want that. And I'm like, sorry, dude.
I can't
Like, that was one off for this guy.
do it again.
And usually when they inquire about that, I take that screenshot and I send it to the guy that I made the shit for. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, people are asking for it. And like, it feels good for the customers end too, knowing I'm the only person with this piece or this accessory piece, whatever it may be. The customer themselves feel good because I know I would feel good if someone I took my car to and I respect his work and his opinion and he made something for my car and it's a one-off piece. I would really like that. You know, that's everything we're doing. You want to be kind of original, you know,
And
when
you
it comes to
and
this
it
shit,
it's kind of speaks waves when somebody's proud of something.
Yeah,
It's like that thing is up to their standard of like you've achieved my you achieved my liking. Like I like that item enough for me to call it something that I made.
Yeah. Yes.
And then like with making
Yes.
one-off things too that I like, now that you know it's less scary because I took that try, I failed that try, I tried again. Now when I get to walk around, sometimes you go to a car show where like things that aren't even in your avenue, right? Like I think there was a FRS here last week. Totally new car, different body style. I have the IS. I don't know
you're
if
talking
you
about
remember.
that. You're talking about that new gen FRS, the second gen.
It doesn't even matter. I'm just using it as it's a ZN6, so like 2010. The
Okay, that body.
original.
Okay,
Yeah.
the original. Yeah.
This guy came in here. I'm so sorry, I forgot your name, but he was a fashion customer, and he had these little they were little stick-on things on the hips of the car. They were just little things that accentuated the body line.
Okay.
And I'm looking at it for like 5 minutes or so, and I'm thinking about how my car has a body line like that. So I took a picture of it. And then I went
use
back
that as,
to
like,
my car.
inspiration.
I'm like, I one day if I can like make something here that can come up like that or shape it that way, and then I got to go make it for the other side, which you've also highlighted that is one of quite possibly the harder phase than making it.
Yes.
It's making the second one.
Making it is always the worst. Whenever I used to make flares or whatever, anything that involves two, whether it be fenders, side skirts, whatever it may be, when you're making two of them, it sucks. It sucks. And of course, now there's ways around it. When you could use CAD to make things, and then you print it, you 3D print it, you use that to make the mold, whatever.
Are you using that stuff?
No,
Dude, I wish I knew how.
God forbid, dude.
Oh,
God
man.
forbid. No. I don't like that stuff. Not that I'm talking down on it. I'm not like how we were just talking. Everyone has their own way of doing things. I'm not talking down on it. It's the future. I think we spoke about this the last time. It is the future, but I'm a little bit old school when it comes to that shit. I like everything handmade. If that means that one side is not going to be completely on, it's going to be 99% compared to the other side because it's man-made, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the results, knowing everything was handmade.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like handmade shit. So because I like it, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it, and I might end up being the only one that's doing it down the line because everyone is turning to that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm fine with that.
I was worried you were gonna go. So I started using.
No. You bite your tongue.
No, dude. Because I don't know. I'm not the greatest with technology, but I'm also not the worst. Like I know what's around me and what probably the capability of the tools around me are like that. Like let's say you fucking scan that and it says you're off by a millimeter on this one angle.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. But then it takes away the skill factor that differentiates some humans from other humans. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's
this
what makes
person
it.
worked mad hard to get to where they were.
Yes,
and now
yes.
the software takes away from that and it levels it out, which is great in turn.
I don't know.
Makes
Look,
it-
when you use that shit, I'm not saying now everyone can do it. No, not every because it still requires skill to get the programs running and all that shit. Fine, but it's more of I don't know. I guess it's more accessible, I guess, because more people can do it because it doesn't require something to be made by hand. Something can be printed. I've seen 3D printed things then being used as a plug to make a mold and to do all that stuff, and it comes out perfect.
That's kind of cool.
Perfect.
Yeah,
fine,
like
cool. No, cool.
You're using it to support.
Cool, fine, amazing. I'm not doing it. Yeah. Amazing.
I covered my headlight in Vaseline. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, dude, I got my ways, and it works. And as long as I can get to my end result, my goal, which is what I'm seeing, if I could get there and my skills allow me to get there, I'm good. I'm happy. Yeah, so far I haven't hit a roadblock yet where I'm trying to build something where I envision and I'm like, shit, I can't do this because I'm not skilled enough to do it and I need now to do this. Thankfully, I'm good. So I'll alter it a little bit, but to completely abandon my roots of doing it by hand and to go to now the help of computers and machines. Oh, no, absolutely not.
I don't think it's...
Absolutely not. I'll be such a hypocrite. It's just... I like working with my hands. It's fun. I've always been doing it since I was very young. I was forced to work very early by my dad. Very early. Too early by my dad. So I was always working with my hands. So to feel like now I'm going to sit at a desk and design something is so contradictory to what I'm used to, like my goal, you know? So no, computers and all that. I'm going to stick away.
When is AI going to start painting cars?
I don't.
Dude, I saw it already.
I saw it. It was so scary.
Really?
It was
I
like
saw it. I always use this thing where people say AI is coming for everybody's jobs. AI. I'm like, AI can't fucking paint a car. AI can't do
and
this.
Then it does.
And then I see this video.
Then you see the video.
Yeah, I see this video. It's at a convention. I don't know, some kind of convention for car shit, whatever. And it's this arm, this robot arm.
That's the video I see.
And it's just painting.
Shit.
It's just painting. Now, sure, it can probably do basic standard jobs. It's not going to be able to do advanced shit yet. It's going to get there eventually.
But what if paint can sometimes do something different? Okay. What happens if they're spraying? Whereas me as a painter, if I see even hear it, or like you can kind of see it or feel it. I don't even fucking know.
Like
differential pressure. The gun is starting, the tip is starting to, and then I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
See,
will the computer know that?
How can the computer... I sound like a primitive thing. How can the computer know? The computer's going to know. Okay? It knows. But how it addresses the problems and how it fixes it without having a person there to service and constantly address the errors, that I don't know. But like when I'm working, though, I need to change shit. Like when I'm spraying something, I'm constantly adjusting the gun for whatever I need to do. And when I work, like when I'm spraying, I don't have a gauge on my gun. I just go by sound. So like I know what it's supposed to sound like based on what I'm doing. Like this is all with gauges and professional. Like this is wild. I just go by. Oh, it sounds right. It's good. It's good.
The ones that paint cars in the factories are probably fucking nuts, though.
Well,
but if you realize though,
Is it dipped or some shit?
It's not perfect.
No. It's painted, but it's not good.
It comes out like ass sometimes.
Yeah, if you realize on modern cars, the paint is very textury. It's very peely.
Super duper.
It's not great. There's also a lot of paint that doesn't it doesn't stick well. There's like some kind
Peels
of adhesion
off.
problems on those pickups and all that.
Hyundai's got a bad problem with it.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of issues with the newer cars. I know they're sprayed. But when those are sprayed like bare shell type shit. You know, the panels are on and they're spraying it. This AI bot spraying thing, it was like fixing a door. It was like spraying like a door.
Something that you could buy potentially.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I'm sure that those body shops that are making millions of dollars a month with all those shots, they're gonna get that. There's no way around. They're gonna get that equipment.
Okay. But what about prepping? How the hell is that thing going to
prep, man.
How the hell is that going to do?
That's the next layer.
How's it going to do that? You're sanding something. You can hear if it's sanding. Sanding is something.
You never saw Terminator 2. That's the problem.
As we just went over in the beginning, sanding is something that's pretty subjective.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's situational.
Well,
how is the machine going to do that?
You need AI before the machine.
And how's it going to touch it? How's it going to
But now
No.
AI is a real thing.
It knows, dude. It knows. It'll do it, dude. But back to the, well, not back to the, but AI, let's just say, that bot spraying, right? Like, I always say half of it is, maybe not half, maybe 75% of it is the actual skill, okay? 25% of it is making choices. Now, those choices are opinions based on how the car is being built, okay? To me, a computer and AI, it can't make those opinions about what's going to look good and what's not. I just think that is going to be the strongest suit, is the ideal creative mind on what to apply, how to apply it. So I think the ideas and the input on the build are going to be where people shine as far as AI, even though it
But what
can
if
create.
it can do that one day?
That's
You
terrifying.
know what?
I'm gonna
It
be
probably
dead.
will.
I'm gonna be
probably
dead
will.
by then.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, it probably will be able to do that one day. I don't know when.
It might, but for some reason, I just feel like look, I'm pretty confident in my creative ability to make choices for it to, I don't know, to maybe be better than other people. Like I'm trying to sound modest about it. Look, like we all have opinions on cars. We all do, right? I get paid for mine. Okay, there's a difference.
Yeah.
My opinion goes a little bit farther than the average person does. So the average person might be just a computer. When it's AI, takes general information about what's right. What I do might not be general information about what's to be done. It might be unconventional. It might be whatever. So my opinion, I think, is going to be the cutting edge for the future.
I get what you're saying with that, and I do agree. I don't think that AI will be able to. It might be able to be its own individual
It's just
person
general information.
one day, but
it's just general information. That's really all it is.
It is right now. It's general information. It's Google on steroids.
Yeah. So I mean, to be able to take it one step farther and know what's right. Like when I do full overall builds, like I have something on my invoice that says I have the right to stop the job at any time for any creative choices that I don't agree with.
That's smart.
And it just has to, because I have to have input on everything going on in this build if it's a full overall build.
Yeah.
Because my name is on it. And that's why they're coming to me, because they want me doing the car. So if it's me doing the car, me doing the input, I need to make those choices. So those opinions and those choices kind of separate from other people, whether it be other people doing the same work or computers trying to make cars look good. You know?
You don't have to name names, but have you done that before where you had to stop?
Of course.
Oh, shit.
I was gonna say that's
fuck
there
that.
for a reason.
There was one. I'm trying to explain the story without outing the customer, but it happened many times. But there was this one time I was doing a car. I'm not even going to say the car. So there was one time I was doing this car, and he said, "I want flares, like on all four sides. Like I want all the metal work. I want the whole nine. I want to do whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." So worked out a time, worked out a budget, worked out a deal, everything fine. And the way I like to do things as far as builds, I don't like to take a lot of a cash up front. I like to take a small amount up front, because I feel like if you give me too much, now you
have the power.
You own me.
Yeah.
You're like, how's my car doing? How's my car doing? How's my car? Like
we do the same thing.
No, dude. Take a small amount, so we're always good. We're even. So I was like, no, man, I don't want much. He's like, no, I want to put down some. I was like, no, it's fine. Thankfully, he said, no, just take this. I said, okay, fine. I'll take it. I usually don't like to. So I start the car, and I said, okay, let me start on the front end first. Because when you're doing flares on the front end, it's not permanent to the car. I'm not doing
You
the
can take
quarters.
the fenders off.
I can take the fenders off. I can take the front bumper off. And when it comes to four-door cars, when you're doing flares, you're not only doing the fenders and the quarters. You're going into the bumpers. So it requires the plastic work on the bumpers, the whole nine. So this was like a full job. So it was a four-door car. And I start doing the flares, right? And again, I think the flares look good. This is a subjective business. It's all opinions. Who's to say what's right? I think it looks good. So I followed the body lines. The shit looked as good as it can be for the car. Mm-hmm. So I start posting pics, and he's like, yeah, it's cool. And obviously, if you guys see, I post a lot. Well, once a car comes in, I ask the customer, I said, is it okay to post? Absolutely. Cool. I'm posting the whole time, and he's fine with it. So I'm doing it. I finish all the metal work. finish all the body work. And I was like, you know what? Let me just prime the whole front end. It'll be done, and then I'll start working on the rear.
Yep.
I like to cross like things off. So I was like, okay, at least like the front will be done. He could come and see the front, and you know, I'm used to people walking in and seeing things I've done, and they're like, "Whoa, shit! Oh, can you believe it? Oh, this shit looks hot, right?" And I like that. That's half the reason why I'm doing it. Sure, the money's fine, but I like to hear that. So. Like, we're like walking in. I'm like, yo, you ready to see this shit, dude? He's like, oh, am I ready to see this? I'm like, you ready? He's like, oh, I'm ready. So I'm like hyping him up, you know? I'm like, yo, you're not ready to see this. So then I open up the door and he's like looking at it. He's like, well, you know. And look, I take criticism very bad. Very bad.
Okay.
Very bad. And it's a big weakness of mine.
I
you
know.
And,
It's fine.
And I know it's a weakness. I'm working on it, you know? So he was like, oh, you know, can you take this line and round it off? Can you take this and do this? I was like, hey, dude, this ain't fucking Build-A-Bear, man. I was like, all right, you're not gonna, you know, come in here and adjust everything and do things. I was like, no, you came to me for a reason, and that's what it is. And then he started showing me pictures of these other cars.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, bro, why are you showing me pictures of Lambos and shit? This is a 4-door car. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, I want it to look like this. So I'm like, brother, look, tomorrow? He's like, yeah. I'm like, come pick up your car. He went, what? I'm like, dude, you signed the invoice, you signed everything. I don't agree with this. Whatever you want to do to this car, you do it. I don't want my name to be on it. You pay up to what I did. I was like, I don't want to do the rest. I was like, I'm sorry. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, no, dude, if you don't let me do what I want to do, it's done. He's like, well, I figured we could kind of work and we could kind of figure out what looks best. No, I know what looks best. You don't know what looks best. I do this for a living, brother. I literally do this for a living.
I mean,
I know what looks good.
It's in the terms, you know?
Yeah, it's right there. And he said, okay. He goes, I'll take it. I said, okay, fine. Yeah, but it's happened many times where car, I kind of had to stop the build because it just started going left. But when I started to be a little bit more strict on my vetting process for what job I accept, the percentage rate of cars that had to leave because of that went down so much.
Thank God. Yeah.
So much. Because I vet them out so much, I know we're on the same page. People think it's just based on the car. It might be the car, sure, but half of it is also the customer as well. I need to make sure you're not like somebody crazy. That's like gonna really give me a headache. That's more.
But that guy caught you off guard too because he was posting it and sharing it, and you thought,
yeah, man. It's like and like we spoke on the phone. I'm like, hey, I did this. He goes, yo, it's looking great. It's looking great. And then he sees it in person.
Someone must have gotten his ear or something, and then been like, oh, I don't think that looks good.
I hate when that happens, man. It's just like the worst when they have their friends that come and they look at it. Dude, I've had times where like I finish a car. And the car looked great. I'm like, this shit looks hot. And then the guy comes to pick up his car, but he comes with his boys.
Here we go.
So he comes with, I'm like, I know what the hell this is going to be, right? And you spend all your time. You make the car look as good as possible. You lose sleep over it. You're thinking about it in the shower. You're eating. You're thinking about it. Everything is about the car. Your whole life is about the car. So then he comes to pick it up. And, you kind of want to see something back from that. This dude comes in and all of his friends start looking underneath. They start feeling like they start feeling under the panels to feel for runs, to feel if anything is dry, to feel if something hasn't been sanded yet. And I'm like, dude, let's just say you spot a bad, right? The way you handle this is horrible. The car looks good. Let's say I did 10 things, right? And 9 things were good. You're looking for that one bad thing. Yeah. And that usually happens when they come with their boys. For some reason, the boys want to feel like a hero for spotting something out that he might have not have spotted out. And I see that happen all the time. And I have no problem saying, dude, your boys got to go, man. If it's me and you, we got to talk. But they're not paying the bill. They're not doing anything.
That shit is so annoying.
I hate when they do that. And listen, I've had times where it was an amazing experience where they've come with friends and friends were like, oh, it's really nice, amazing. I want you to do my car. Fine, cool. But when they want to come in, they just want to start tearing apart the build
immediately, right?
I had a customer that came by with his dad once, and Oh my God, yo, his dad was like going crazy on me, man.
Oh, the dad was
The
stickling?
dad,
I've
man,
had
the
that.
dad was going crazy on me.
About what?
I'm trying to share the story without.
So he's like, the quality of the work or something, like something.
So there was something lost in
Translation.
yeah, about how something to be done. So when they came to pick up the car, they came with the dad. The kid came with the dad. And the dad was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I'm sorry. Can I curse? Can I not curse?
Yeah.
I apologize.
Cursed on here.
Nice.
Within a minute.
I'm sorry.
I was sitting down. You're fine. This is a
My
safe
bad.
space.
This is a safe space,
We have named no names.
and I'm ready
You
to
have
start.
a right to-
I'm really trying to not.
You have a right
I'm
to
getting
share
detailed.
your work.
I'm about to start unleashing shit too, man.
Frankie probably runs into this. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna toss into my bad experience with my customer. Like it happens,
There's
and like,
so many bad experiences.
but the thing is, it's the way
so
you
rough.
handle it and the way you step forward from it. Because like you're still here.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. I mean,
You're
those
busy.
things are so stressful though, because like this work is so important to me as people's work to whoever.
Yeah.
Their work is so important to them that we take it personal.
Yeah.
So when something like that happens, when a customer isn't happy or where the car leaves and like an hour after you get a call or a text from the customer, that's never a good thing. Was when the customer calls
Yeah.
or text like right after, and like you see that and like your heart skips a beat and you feel so shit and like you hear the customer complain, you just feel so bad about yourself. And that you
Yeah.
wish you could have done better, and you become very hard on yourself. And it is a hard feeling, but that same feeling is also a superpower to how people get to where they are because you care so much.
Dude,
and
that's
because I care so much that it might get me there, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword that when those things happen, they fucking hurt, man. They fucking hurt.
It hurts.
Yeah. It hurts.
That
And it happens to the
happened-
best of us.
That happened to me on car number 5. The kid came. He was really happy about dropping it off. I send pictures. I always try to keep that line of communication open. We have technology now. You can reach out to me.
Of course.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Just don't tell me what you're fucking eating for dinner. I don't care. Just
course.
keep it about the paint.
Yeah.
And then I always disclose, especially since I'm new. Hey, I'm new. Just know I might make a mistake or two, but I'm going to show you the mistakes. I'll tell you how I'm going about the mistakes, and I'm going to fix them.
Yeah.
Car came
Well,
out.
that's nice that you're honest and
I have to
straightforward
be.
about it.
I'm new.
No, that's-
I can't hide anything.
It's the best because when they go on with what you said, it's like you don't have anything to prove because if something screws up or messes up, you already addressed the fact that you're learning. So, and if they agreed with that as well, you're good.
I know, but then
You're good.
I sprayed it. It was a color that is hard to.
What color?
It would be so obvious.
I see.
Yeah, like-
Okay, what does the color rhyme with?
But
Good thing you caught yourself, Carl, because I would have just said it.
I see.
The car came out. It to mine like
It is
opinion,
really it's a shit color.
It's a shit color.
is
It
a shit
covers
color.
like fuck. It was my first
yeah.
time painting that color.
Yeah.
And they were reiterating to me it didn't have to be perfect. The job was cheap. I
kept saying that to you?
I pay I charge people cheap because I'm new. I want to get.
Can you
I
talk
need,
prices or no?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you
I
charge?
charged them $1,600 to do the whole car.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Carl's painting a lot of drift cars.
But I wanna
Wow.
I want people to willingly drop it off to me so I can learn. I make
dude.
maybe like a couple $100 on it,
That's
and I
fu-
spend hours.
Even if you made
days.
nothing. Even if you made nothing. I tell people all the time. People again, I tell the people that work for me, I tell them all, I cannot say it enough. Experience. Go out there and get jobs. Even if you're not getting paid off of it. Dude, you're working on this thing. All your expenses are being paid for. You're getting paid to learn. You're doing it.
That's it.
And if the customer's okay with you being new, who cares? Do it.
Yeah.
I did how much shit for making no money at all, but it adds to your portfolio of shit to sell to the next job. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, here's what I did. Boom, boom, boom. XYZ. Did this. And then here's why. Now I'm going to charge you this much because I did this. It just adds to your to your portfolio?
After that, and after, literally everything you just said that happens with a bad transaction happened.
Nice.
They picked it up. The reaction that I wanted wasn't there that I usually got prior.
But you shouldn't be looking for that reaction.
I shouldn't. And that's why I was like, I'm okay. An exchange of money for the rest happened.
Yeah.
And then an hour later, I get a call or a text saying that he had a friend look at it.
Oh, God.
Always the friend. Always the
then-
friend.
My heart.
But
I
then-
could just put myself into that
Okay,
situation.
but the problem is yes, it sent me through like damn, I kind of tried a little hard on it. It didn't come out great. The conditions that I painted are horrible. I can look at this so many different ways. Obviously, I was like, damn, like I guess he really didn't like it that much. And then what can I do? I want to do as right as I could possibly do. So what was he asking for? He was asking to just be charged for the materials, which I only charged him for the paint, but not like
brother,
my
this shit is $1,600. How much? What are you talking about?
the
How
paint,
much more can you take away from $1,600?
I refunded him for the paint, just the paint.
Oh,
I didn't refund him.
Carl lost on this one.
I didn't refund
Pretty
him
bad.
for my sandpaper or the DAs that I had to buy because I was sanding like literally until the sander would just get so fucking hot because I use these electric ones that they were breaking. So then I was sanding it.
Okay, we need
and
to get you in there when
it doesn't. It doesn't like none of that ever gets translated. So
No.
I refunded him the money. I lost some. I learned a lot.
Good.
And then after that one, even after I had many people go like, hey, this guy's like posting this on the internet. I'm like, I don't really care. I did all I can do on my end.
He posted about it?
Yeah.
Oh,
To make
my
me feel
God,
to make
man.
me feel like I did what I can do to make that it's okay. Not
Brother,
everybody's gonna be happy with my work.
$1,600.
But
What the hell are you gonna get out of that?
the thing is at the end of the day, like I just wanted to make sure that I did what I could have done.
Oh,
in
Sounds
that
like you did
situation.
everything you could have.
Yeah, but in the end of the again, he just said end of the day a bunch of times because in conclusion, no matter what, that person can say that I'm a shitbag and like I didn't do right by him or something.
but
I don't fucking know.
here's the thing: like all those things you said, it wasn't a paint place or it wasn't whatever. Those are all excuses.
Yeah.
Just let's just be honest. Like those are all excuses.
Totally,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter. All
Yeah.
that. The fact of the matter is, you need to learn and get better. That's it.
So then I took
That's
everything down. I stopped taking in work after that. I made plans to get a better booth.
Wait, what do you mean you took everything down?
Like my setup. I redid everything because I was like, I'm gonna make these way better.
Oh, okay. All right. So
it took like it took a day or two for
Yeah.
me to be like, why did that come out like shit?
yeah.
Why didn't it come out the way that I wanted it to?
Easy. Like I'm sorry. I don't want to sound fucked up.
No,
But it didn't because you're not that good.
that's fine. I need to get better.
You need to
though.
get better.
So,
That's it. That's
yeah.
all there, which is amazing. And the fact that you learned with this, you got to do a car that you got paid for, and all that stuff is fine and amazing. But I'm sure, I'm 100% sure, everything that you fucked up on that job, I bet you're not gonna do it
Never
for that next job.
Never again.
So worth it. I fucked up so
Never
many
again.
jobs, and I won't do the same things I do on the following job. And I just think to myself, okay, whatever I went through, it was a lesson.
Yeah.
It was a lesson.
And I thank
learned.
that
I
that guy
learned,
for
yeah.
that because honestly, could have been worse. Could have been way worse.
I mean, that is pretty bad, though.
it is, but thankfully, like,
But did you tell Kay about how I'm pretty sure you said I'll redo whatever.
yeah, I did. I
He
usually
offered to redo everything.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you guys said no.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
right
then-
there, that's already
Good.
like
No, good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Take it somewhere else. It was clean. Hopefully they got what they needed in the end with their vision of what the car wanted to be. But I continued on and I took it fucking personally.
Yeah.
I
would completely take a personal.
I did my homework with everything. And now I had to sit there and reflect what I was doing wrong, what I'm not going to do anymore, how I'm going to make my new quote unquote boot setup a little bit better with what I have, and then just keep upping the fuck out of the result.
Yeah.
he name dropped you on the internet when he wrote about it.
No.
Okay, I was gonna
And the
say
thing
if he
is
did that, then I would
no.
definitely take it personally.
No.
Yeah,
But here's the thing. I am not afraid of it. And I told that person, like, if anybody asks you who painted it, tell them. Because and then also tell them that I'm working on it. Because it's never going to look like that again.
I would have just said...
That's asshole moves, man. That the guy that posted about that, he shouldn't have posted about that. Especially
he didn't name my name.
After everything.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You saying you're new is enough.
That was it. That's
it.
I got to look at it.
That's it. You know it's the learning curve.
I got to look at it too because I'm a consumer too.
You're looking at it in a great way.
I'm a consumer too, and if I left my car with somebody, I'd want it the way that I thought it was going to look. So I was just trying to be as neutral as I possibly could be from somebody who typically isn't like that. I'm trying to be the business owner that I want to be. I want to be this. I want to be Faction. I want to be SUPRLIFE. I want to be...
You were saying a business owner. So is this going to be a thing?
I've been messing around with... I like the processes that I go through. I like running things the way I like to run it. I like planning my week the way I got laid off in December.
Laid off in December. What were you doing?
I worked an office job for the past 2 years since we went on our pod.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
nice.
I was working in an office. I'd go there 9 to 4, 9 to 3:30, depending on what the work's looking like. Jet home, get out of my work clothes, my like business casual.
Oh, and then start
paint suit, 5 to 10, right away.
Good. Yeah,
he was working a lot.
Look, when I was working for my dad back in my 20s, I was.
So like last week?
I know. I'm like
that
saying
was a little
it
kiss
as
for
if
you.
it
There
was
you go.
Wait, when I walked in, you said I changed. You mean I got fat or skinny?
No, you're thin. Where the fuck is the rest of you?
You did look
Doesn't he not look thin?
You know what it
Really?
is? Let me tell him what it actually is. Is your hair.
No, the last time I came,
this hair.
my hair was
No
cut.
way.
My hair was cut the last time. Yeah, my hair was.
Because your long hair was like...
I didn't have my dreads. Yeah. I didn't have my
Did
dreads.
you lose weight or no?
Yes, he had.
I don't know.
That's
he doesn't
what
even
a
know.
rude
He doesn't
question
even
to
know.
fucking
I don't know. No, because when I walked in
doesn't even
and then
know.
after I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, did I get fucking fat? The work is absolutely all wild. But back then in my when I was around 20, I think I was still living with my parents. I was 25, 26. I would work with my dad. It was 9 in the morning to 7 at night. I would come home at 7, come home, eat, go out, and I would go outside. My dad built me this little spot to work in the back, like this small shed, and had like a fan and shit inside, everything for all the dust and everything. And I would be out there from 8 to midnight.
Fire.
This would continue on for so long. Now, those days when I was in them, it was like, oh my God, like I just want my own place. I want to do this. I want to be doing these cars. I was working on shit. Now when I think back at those days, man, what good days those were. Like those come up days, like everyone, I love like the come up story. The come up story is so cool. And when I was doing it, when I was working the day with my dad and working at night, and then I would do this, and then I was an apprentice. I would have to drive from Brooklyn to Jersey every single day, and I would do it for like $300 a week. I did that for years, and I would just continue on. I'm like, it's gonna pay off. It has to. Hard work always pays off, and one day it's going to. But putting in those hours always pays off. Always, whatever you have to do. It's just sometimes, obviously, you don't want to. You're freaking tired. You just came home from working. But we don't forget that this shit that we're doing, it's fun. We want to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one's making us do this shit.
No, like I'm fully aware that what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis is what other people think about on their free time. And I'm very fortunate for that. We should be fortunate for that. It's an amazing feeling that I get to do this shit and get paid for it.
Yeah.
So, man, it's just the hours when putting them in were tough. But again, when you get to it and you see the results on where it gets you, you look back and you're like, oh, that shit was worth it.
How long do you think before you felt? I know this is a hard one to answer. How long during that process, how many years do you think went by before you were like, I think I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit now?
No, I think, you know what a big curse is I forgot what the theory is called, but there's a theory that explains the better you get at something and the more you start to learn about something, the more you understand how much you don't know.
So you still think you don't know anything?
I think I don't know shit.
I tell people that all the time sometimes.
Yeah,
And they think,
I mean, it's a good way to keep. It's a good mentality.
It's really because like there was one time I had this friend that used to work for me. His name was Matt, and I asked him one time. He was working for me for like let's say a year at that point, and he was talking about his skill level. And then I asked him, I was like, "Hey man," I was like, "I'm just curious." I was like, "If you had to put your skill on a scale from 0 to 10, from 0 to 10,
it's a trap.
Zero,
It's a trap.
Zero being the
trap.
worst, 10 being a master." I said, "Where do you think you're at, and where do you think that I'm at?" And then he sat there. I was like, "You don't got to tell me right away. I don't want to instant." I was like, "Think about it for a while, and then I want you to come back, and then I want you to tell me." He said, "Okay, fine." So he's working, and about 1 hour passes, and then he comes back to me. He's like, "All right." He goes, "I'm ready." I'm like, "All right." I'm all right. Well, he's like, "All right, I took a lot into account of what I know. I know how to sand. I know." He's just naming things, right? So I'm like, "Matt," I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What's the number?" So he goes, "I think I'm like a 5." He goes, "I think you're like a 9." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "That's what you think?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Do you want to know what?" I'm like, "Do you want to know what I think?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, please don't be offended." He goes, "Okay, fine." So I say, "I don't think you're even a 1." And I say, I would say me at that point in time, I'm about a 4. Probably.
As long as you didn't give yourself the 10, I'm fine.
Oh,
Like,
what do you mean? If 10 is a master,
Yeah.
10 is a master, and I've only been doing it for 10 years, how can I be a 10?
Yeah.
How can somebody be a master that fast? So he put himself at a 5. That would mean he's halfway to being a
maybe-
master at 1 year?
Well, if you boil down the scale, 1/2.
No.
It's like 1 to 2, 2 to 1 type shit.
It's completely, I would say, like, I would say still now I'm a 4 or 5. Still easy, and I'm still learning. I'm still getting better, and
But a 4
I
or
hope to keep
5,
getting better.
a 4 or 5 is
A 4 or 5 on my scale.
yes, that means you're comfortable taking people's money and doing this for a living.
Oh, I hate what I put out, dude.
That is.
It
is.
like,
no, I love when I said that.
Recently, it's been getting better. Thank God.
Okay.
Recently, it's been getting better.
Recently?
And
What the? Okay, I'm sorry.
This is
Recently-
breaking
I'm sorry.
news.
I'm sorry.
Recently, I would say maybe maybe the past year. I've been really, I like everything I've been putting out.
What did
And
you put out that you? Because you're thinking of something.
So not anything specifically, but I'm thinking about a timeline because I know times where I was hard on myself for when cars would leave, right? When cars would leave, I would finish the car, I would take it outside, I would wash the car, and I couldn't look at the car again. I couldn't look at it
Because you
again.
work too many hours on it, or because you don't like
I
it?
just see too many imperfections that I could have been better at. And I know things I should have done better. And I was like, shit, when I had to either go X or Y, I can't believe I went Y. I should have went X, right? So after I wash a car and I'm done with it, I can't look at it again, or I would finish the car and I would bag it. I would put like a big sheet over it just so I don't look at it again because it would hurt me. So I don't know what it is now that I like. I recently, maybe last year, I did this FD, and I really liked the way everything came out, and it felt so weird stepping back from my own work, going like, "Oh,
This is a
wow,
big
this
deal,
looks
though.
good." Like, "Wow, this looks good," and it was so weird for me because I usually step back and go, "Oh God, why do I suck? Man? Why am I
Malcolm, can you
doing
find that
this?" Like, it's just so rough. So, in recent years, maybe, I don't know if it has to do with now I'm a father and I'm a new father, and
Congratulations, by
thank
the
you,
way.
thank you very much.
Love Super Dad.
I was gonna say maybe it has something with you being a father.
I think it does because back then, this was it still is everything to me, but it was who I am. It wasn't what I did. Now it's what I do, and I know it's not the most important. That's the
the
FD.
car?
That's the FD.
And what did you do here? You did the wide body?
Oh, I did so much shit on
Dude,
it, man.
that is-
So look, I tinted the carbon green. All right, so now
That
I'm
does look
Whoa.
nice.
yeah. I tinted the carbon green. Okay, now I'm probably gonna stutter a lot more because when I get excited, I stutter a lot more. But yeah, I did everything on this. The whole car is two-tone. I did like multiple colors going all the way into the engine bay. Everything painted inside and out. Like it's hard to show, but like inside the headlight cover is
darker.
Is two color. Inside that additional piece for the front bumper, inside that piece is a secondary color. There's just secondary colors everywhere. Inside the bay, I've made like the strut towers a secondary color. And like, see, like inside the vents is a secondary color.
That's RX-8 vent.
And
I mean,
and,
the blinker.
yeah, it is.
The
It is.
blinker,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, it is.
That's crazy.
So, and like with this, I think like back then I would pick bad color choices. This, I've been starting to like
Let me put that down in my notebook real
a
quick.
mono style of what?
Not like the secondary color thing.
Secondary. And like,
I like that a lot.
I like that
you got a notebook.
I would always try to pick wild contrasting colors.
Yeah.
Now realizing realizing myself, I like mono color themes. So with this, it was shades of green. All different shades
like
of green.
that a lot.
Where it doesn't stick out so much, but you know it's a different color. And like usually someone would go opposite, complete opposite to see where it stands out.
Yeah.
No, I like to let it really sink in. And as you start to go through the car, you start to find all the stuff.
Why the photo of the inside of the door just to see the door jamb, or is there something going on there too?
No, just because how nice.
Yeah, it does look nice.
Yeah,
it looks factory.
yeah. But because stuff like that, when
there you go.
you see,
Yeah.
even on the mirrors,
Hard.
and everything.
That is
Emerald Zone.
So that color
Emerald Darrow.
is a R34 jade.
Millennium jade?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the secondary color is a Mopar color. It's like a dark green. I forgot what the color name was, but it worked really good. I spent so long putting the color swatches.
The swatch? Yeah, okay. I was like,
My paint guy is really good. My paint supplier, he knows I'm really annoying with shit. So when I'm trying to look for a certain hue, I don't have books. I'm like, yo, I need this certain shade. Send me a bunch, and he'll send me different swatches, and I'll match it up to the car to see what works well. And that's what I ended up with. I went with a couple different combos until I landed on this.
That little note that you just made right there, how you like doing monocolor builds,
Yes.
is a note. That's one of them little notes that I note. Like I just noted that.
Note it.
I noted. I wrote down secondary color on details. Quote FD SUPRLIFE. So then I could go like reference it back.
To go look at it.
Because that you remember 10 seconds to share versus years of you growing. That would have taken me a long time to be like, damn, my taste would have had to evolve
yes.
into that.
And you see all of this, like when the customer came to me, the original idea was the car was going to be purple.
No.
And I'm like, purple?
No.
I'm like, brother, no. So I changed up everything. And like, I'm like, dude, please don't think I'm taking over the build, but I don't have anything to gain from your car looking good or bad, but just please trust me. And he said, okay, fine. I was like, I'm changing everything up. So changed it all up. And afterwards, he was like, oh,
it's pretty crazy.
Dude, like, I love it.
The customer let you change the color of the car completely.
It's on the invoice.
Thankfully. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
it's there.
It's on the
And
invoice.
plus, I really hate dark purples because he wanted like a dark purple.
Well,
And
I like dark purple.
there's certain colors I don't like, and if I don't like it, I choose not.
It's a small car though,
Yeah.
so I don't know if I would want a dark.
I think purple
color.
could look
Yeah,
good, but
I
this
wouldn't.
green is amazing.
It makes the car look even
the green.
smaller.
The green works.
Millennium Jade is.
So during this car, my wife was pregnant, and then I had my son while I was doing this car.
Oh, wow.
So I consider this car like the start of a new phase of work because like how I was explaining, when I became a dad, it became not less caring of the work, but more like, hey, it's all good. Everything is fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just having fun. And that approach kind of changed it up to not put so much pressure on me and for my mental state. And I just approached the bills in a different way, in a more peace way of like, hey, it's all right. It's just a car. Who the fuck cares? I still
look at you,
yeah,
bro.
So
What the fuck is that?
life is still so good. I'm still going home to my amazing wife, to my beautiful kid, to my amazing home, to my cars. Like, who the fuck cares about this shit? If it fucks up, I'll do it better. I'll do it the following day. Who cares?
Fuck
and
yeah,
that
dude. You
changed
are
my
winning.
whole mentality. You
You
know?
are
Thank you.
winning so
thank you.
hard right now.
You know,
Okay.
it's funny. We were just on another podcast, one of the last ones. We were just talking about kids and how myself and this person, we were like, we're not really at that stage where we even think about.
Okay, yeah,
kids.
to even think about it, yeah.
Yeah, and now you're saying, but we also were saying, well, you know, when
this is
people
the
do have
other end.
kids, they say, you know, it's the most this thing that changes their life.
Yeah.
This and that.
It really does change your life.
And what
yes.
you just said is a good
It
example.
changed my whole view on my work. And just like how I was explaining, where it's not end of the world, because you understand what's more important and what's the bigger thing, like coming into it, it really did change my workflow. Like, I recall coming home from work just upset every day. Like, this is when I had the studio, I had everything. I would just come home upset because I'm like, shit, like I just could have done better here, whatever. Like, again, I take my work personal. So I don't remember the last time I came home upset or angry, because why? You know, why? Like, there's just no, like, this is what's most important.
You're gonna have to be upset tomorrow
it was
anyway.
just,
So.
yeah, like, who cares? It's nothing.
so
you know?
interesting.
So it really changed my whole aspect on everything. And, you know, not only that, in a couple of years, I'm gonna have some free workers.
Yeah. following in your father's footsteps.
This guy is playing the long game for labor. That is insane.
That's it, man. Free work.
That's why he's so
He's gonna
stoked.
be
Okay.
a prodigy, man. He's gonna be a prodigy. So.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine, Malcolm, imagine you got crazy lax Frankie around. Oh my God.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like,
how did you do that? Spread that over.
what did you
Spread it over there.
when she was pregnant and you knew the baby was coming? What was your thoughts on it? Did you think that this was going to happen? Probably not.
No. I thought it was gonna be harder because it was always weird. Like, I liked being at my studio so much that it was hard to take me away from there. And I couldn't understand the fact. I'm like, shit, they're like, my kid's gonna be at home. Like, am I not gonna want to be here? Am I gonna I felt like because of all my responsibilities were gonna shift. I felt like my work quality was gonna go down because I would be so focused on this, and it really didn't. Like, quite the opposite happened, actually. Work is so enjoyable, but it's also just as enjoyable to leave, you know? So while she was pregnant, I was distraught on how I was going to handle my mental approach working and being there, and how my schedule is going to be, and I don't know, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
But I don't like to plan long term. I'm like, we'll see what happens. So I just said, we'll see what happens. And then it always works out. Long-term planning just stresses me out. So
Yeah,
I go, hey, we'll see. Who cares?
It looks like it almost, I don't know what I was going to say before, but I had something. It's like it kind of relaxed your work ethic in a way.
It did.
But
it did.
But that ended up helping.
It helped. It makes sense when people say things like, "Oh, you're working too much. You got to go and relax and to work better." I'm like, no. What do you mean? Like, I was like, "Oh, this was the ultimate example because this, like, it relaxed me in such a way for understanding this isn't the most important thing, that it essentially made my work better."
You were stressing the small shit.
Yes,
That's what it was.
And I would everything that would come in the work, I would just be like, "Oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this?" When now it comes in, I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. You know? Okay,
You're
we'll
jaded
see.
now. Is that it?
I don't know if I'm.
You like went up a tertiary because now you have a child, and this is like a new stress level. So now all that older bullshit is like
nothing.
All right,
It's
cool.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It's really nothing. And not that it has its own versions of stress being a father, but not stress how you would imagine. And I don't try to care to explain how it changes because no one could have explained it to me when I didn't have a child. But when you actually are in that place, you see it, and it makes sense. You're like,
I'm
okay,
scared.
Okay, I see.
I'm scared. Let's say I have a kid someday. I'm scared that I would just always just be looking at him or her like, yo. That's my child.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing.
What?
Yeah, I like look at him. I'm like, dude,
You kind of look like me.
yo, like you came from like me, bro. Like this is weird. And he just looks at me like he has like, no idea what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, dude.
This right here
wild.
is 600 grit, and this is 220.
Yeah, I can't wait to go through all that, man. Here's the way you do this, and here's the way you say it, and here's the way you do this.
That's funny. I'm glad you gave us that insight. That was
It's really not as stressful as I thought it was going to be, and thankfully, the way my work situation is, I work at nights. I watch my son during the day. We hang out, we get breakfast, we do whatever, and I get to the studio around like 3:00, and then I work till late, and I just do it over again, and it's not hard at all. You know, it's really.
You got him on a good. How old is he now?
It's pretty chilling. He's a year and a half.
Year and a half. Fuck.
A year and a half. So
You got him on a good sleep schedule and everything.
Oh
like
yeah.
that?
He's
I got some
finally
friends with
sleeping
kids. I
normally.
might not have one, but I do know how fucking hard that could be.
Oh yeah, when I see new parents and they're in that first couple months, I'm
Yeah.
like, brother,
Oh.
my heart goes out to you, man. I know what you're up against.
My buddy's got twins. When I went to his house and he
man.
had a Super Bowl party, everything was beautifully. It always is responsibly planned. I'm like, bro, they would give you twins, dude. They would. You out of all of our friends, the most responsible one.
At the same time.
Same time. And oh my god, I was like, out of all people, man.
That's crazy, dude.
That's you. That's you.
My hoodie.
Oh, no problem.
Dude, yeah, Frankie, I don't know what
What, kids?
yeah, I don't know when
I'm not having that shit ever, but
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
glad for
see.
Kay. I'm glad for Kay. I'm glad everything's working out.
I gotta
That's
meet me a
cool.
ooh la lady. Yeah.
Carl will definitely have kids. I can see that.
I
What,
mean, look,
with myself? Or my right or left hand?
You're
whenever people had kids, when I didn't have kids, they're always like, you should have one.
Yeah.
I would never do that to anybody and put that kind of pressure on them because it really is a lot. It's not like getting a fucking
Mike.
hamster. It's not like getting a hamster. This is a huge thing that you need to
It freaks me out
commit
the,
to. So
the timeline, okay? So like when you have that new spawn, it's like
Spawn.
that because boy or girl,
Yeah.
whatever it could like that
Non-binary
that
baby.
child is going to be if everything goes correctly the timeline of life, which is like for years.
Yeah.
So you just started that
Yeah.
with one little
yeah.
Malcolm's
You know
in
what?
the new bathroom. Man. That's crazy to see him now.
yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, it's
to
weird,
go
right?
into that door.
Yeah.
Like, yo, don't use that.
Yeah.
You should have a door where you could like
No.
see right through it.
Whoa, what are you talking about?
That's why we just put on these special glasses, right?
I'm watching him because I'm like, you better not blow that bathroom up. I told everyone.
No,
don't
number
blow
ones
that-
only. I don't want you guys to know how long I'm.
Well,
at least over there, I could say. I
I wanted to say, at least I could say it on here. Dude, the place looks fucking amazing, man. I'm just gonna give you your flowers while we're on the air because it's fucking amazing.
Thank you,
dude. Nobody's doing this shit. So the fact that you're doing it like this, killer. The place looks amazing.
I really appreciate
and
that from you.
like how I was saying out there, anyone could have space, but for it to look good,
Yeah.
like how it does, how it looks like you know what you're doing. This place is fucking. It's running like how it should be. Good shit, man.
Thank you, man.
Amazing.
I appreciate it.
Amazing.
And after checking out your space, I
Thank you.
I view you as my peer. You know,
Of course,
we're
of course,
both
man,
around the
of
same
course.
age. We've both been doing this shit.
Competition.
So, yeah.
And you're taking my fucking word.
view you as
Luckily, he's not my competition.
I view
I'd be
you as
fucked.
my opposition. No,
I mean, hey, look, if you had that paint room, then we're competition.
Yeah, that'd be different. Yeah. No, when I signed this lease, it was the one thing that she said like 8 years ago, whatever. She goes, no painting. I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck about paint.
Everybody hates that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, thankfully, my landlord, when I got in there, he was one of my biggest supporters. He was fine with anything I wanted to do. So the fact that I wanted to paint, he was like, "Okay," he was like, "Do whatever you want. I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
So this is when I didn't own the building yet. It was just renting, and He said, do whatever you want. That was like such like, because I know what it was like to look for shops. And once the landlord hears some kind of paint or dust,
The first thing is
automotive,
then
bodywork, then paint.
Then you gotta double down on it.
So
Hey,
this
actually,
was like, so it was the worst. So when I told him that, he said, "Yeah, you could do whatever you want." It was very fortunate because it's hard to find. Then the building where I'm at, being it's zoned for everything it is, again, very fortunate. And then we bought the property in 2023.
Yeah, he owns that
right at the end of
I
it.
know.
So I bought out the commercial space. So thankfully, it's a dream.
It's across the street from a Wawa.
dude, it's
Across the street
literally.
from a Wawa.
I can't wait for you to go.
They poop.
It's
Dude,
literally
the
in
fence.
the lot.
I know the video in my head,
Dude,
of the fence.
Dude, I see hoagies in my dreams, dude.
Dude,
I'm
that's-
fucking, I'm like scared.
That's so you two having spaces like these gives people like me who are trying to start a little something like my booth right now. It went from like a single bay garage with like plastic hanging from all over to now I bought like a little bit of a wider little structure of a tent paint booth thing
nice.
to now there's a little space next to that that's a garage. It's just occupied at the moment, but I want that one so I can make it
So you can make it better.
slowly. Like
Having your space is,
but
such
it's my space,
a good
though.
feeling. Yes,
so I
because it's your
control
space.
it. I
Yes,
can make
yes.
it as clean as I want it, and every time I leave there, fucking clean.
Yes, yeah,
The hoses are all reeled up. All the cords are like where they got to be, so that when I go in there next time, I just get everything.
until you have an employee.
That's on. But yeah,
Until
but
you have
that's
an employee,
that's on
exactly.
me. So that's why I'm like, wow, this is kind of sick.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
sick.
When it's your own spot, it's amazing. I mean, look, I did like freelance shit work for maybe like 3-4 years, and then I was an apprentice for like 7 years, and the whole time was just the main goal was I want my own place to do my own thing, to work how I want, so no one could tell me shit. So that was always the goal, which I'm sure it was for everyone who wanted to get into this. I'm sure you can attest for that because you want to do things your way. And finding the place and the spot and everything, sure, it's hard, but shit always works out. Shit always works out.
If you want it bad enough, it's gonna work out.
It always works out. Listen, like when I started this shit, I didn't have a long-term plan. Again, I don't plan long-term. Like we'll see what happens.
You're preaching
Who
to
cares?
the choir, okay?
I
Just
know
continue.
long-term
I was gonna say, I
plans.
think I'm the same way.
Continue.
Yeah, like
please.
no long-term plans. Can't forget the main goal. Fun. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Currently, am I having fun? At what point in my life was I having a better time? If it's not now, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. So just want to have fun, want to have fun. Short-term plans to keep having fun. And if I could keep doing that, great. Amazing.
I always thought I was fucking up because I didn't have a business plan.
Business plan.
Everything you
Business
watch,
plan.
they go, oh, if you don't have a business plan,
You got to have your mission statement.
you have to have your mission statement, and you have to have a
Does
business
Faction have a
plan.
mission statement? Did you
No,
make
I
that?
never ever done this. I've thought about it.
That's some big corp shit.
Yeah,
that's some big
I've
corp shit.
thought about it,
because they
but
ask
I've
you.
never.
I
that.
hate all that shit. Like anything that
Mission statement, I can kind of get on board with that a little
No.
bit. But
Your
business
mission-
plan,
Make money, bitch.
nothing. I'm putting up nothing. No, I'm doing nothing. Anything that comes close to the clerical side of the business. Thankfully, I have my wife that she could do to do all the other stuff because without her, it wouldn't be running. But it would be very difficult for me to do those things because I just want to work.
yeah.
I just want to work,
Dude,
You know,
yeah.
And like I feel like when people are really good at other things, whether it be the marketing, whether it be the business side, whether it be the books, whether it be the accounts, whether it be whatever, if they're really good at that, it makes up for some skill. But if you're really fucking good, believe me, you don't need any of that shit. They'll find you. If you're that good, no one is gonna go, oh, I'm thinking about going to him or him, but he has a better mission statement and he has a better business strategy. No, he does better work. That's it.
No
There's
one has ever brought up mission statement when
so-
they're looking for someone to do work.
there's nothing about that. If you do good work, you're good. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of the
Be undeniable.
be undeniable. That's the shit. Once that happens,
Undeniable. That is 1000% one of my new favorite words.
I mean, it's true. That's literally, that's it.
yeah. Because with that, I mean, no one could argue.
Yeah.
With you,
We have a lot of similar.
I'm just thinking in my head.
No, it's
I'm
nice
like,
to know. It's cool seeing someone. Are we the same age?
I'm
How old are you?
34.
Oh yeah, we're the same age. I'm 35. Okay,
Yeah,
so being someone the same age doing this shit is so cool, and I think we spoke about this at my studio when we were back when I was in my teens and all that shit, and we're all going to car meets and all that, and everyone's hanging out. They're all at the meet. They're all standing in their circle.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about all the shit they want to do, right? Guess what? All of them are doing something else now. They all sold out, and the rare few that made it in this industry to call it a living, the fortunate. But it's nice to know there are people like us where we're like, we're gonna make a living out of this shit, and I'm gonna have fun every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun every single day.
I mean, that was my thing too. My thing was, I hate saying this because I don't want people to think I think down on anyone, but my thing was, I don't want a boss.
Yeah, of course.
That was my whole life has been like trying to get the people above me out of the way. So at first it's your parents, then it's your teachers, then it's the police, then it's,
What?
There's always someone above you. And
There is, yes.
now I have I always say this, I was like, now I have a landlord, the state,
Yeah, now you don't
and the
want
federal
that.
government.
All right, so what island
So
are we
now I got to
buying?
get rid of
What?
Now I got to get rid of my landlord, and then
landlord.
it's just the state and the federal government.
Which that you're not doing anything about.
Never say never.
You're not doing anything about that.
What the fuck?
But you know what I mean? So now, but like, it's just making those steps. Like, okay,
Yes,
get these
yes.
people out of my way so I
Yes.
can do what I want to do. That was kind
That
of
really is what it kind of comes down to is getting rid of your boss. Like, I forgot where I read it, where it says if you could wake up and choose what you want to do that day, you won.
Fire.
You
God
won.
damn, yeah.
You
that'd
won.
be awesome.
That's it. Regardless what it is. It doesn't have to be the shit, but if it's what you want to do,
That's a better way to look
and
at
you
it.
can do it, you won.
because that can work with anyone with a boss. Like,
What do you mean?
Like if someone has a boss, it's
Yes,
like,
yeah,
but
yes.
I want to do this. It's
Yeah,
like, okay,
then it works. Like,
it's fine.
not everyone is meant to be a boss.
Yeah, no.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine.
Yes.
There's a lot of bads with it. I talk people away from it all the time to start their own business. I tell people all the time, I'm like, it's not all the roses and shit, but
There's actually like
sometimes it
almost no
applies.
roses.
I was going to say,
no.
it's all fun and
not.
games until you have to fucking yell at somebody.
But if you could wake up and you aligned your life in a way where you could do what you want to do that
Yes,
day,
that's the
or let's say something stupid like something short term came up and you want to take off on a Tuesday to do whatever you want. I'm doing it. I'm not asking another man to, can I take off on? No.
Yeah.
No. I'm doing what I want. I'm doing
Yeah.
how I want to do it. And I'm sorry if that sounds egotistical. But
I know. I feel the same
that's
way.
what you want to work
I'm
for.
glad
You
you
literally
said it,
work
but-
to go do that. That
Yeah.
is,
Literally.
you
yeah,
built
yeah,
your
yeah.
own empire
Literally.
so that you
Look,
can have your
I
empire.
literally named my business after my goal, SUPRLIFE. This is going to allow me to live the best life as possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to enable me to live the type of life I want to live. And that's all the goal was. Nothing else.
Yeah.
I just want to live this type of life.
That's exactly what my goal was.
That's
what
it.
I want to do.
I just want
That's it.
to do what I want to do
Yeah.
when I want to do it. Now, that being said, I don't do a fucking thing, right, Malcolm? I'm here every fucking day. So I don't know if I won yet, but it feels like I'm winning because if I want to, because sometimes I'll be, today was one of those days. I was here and I was not having a good day.
Who got in trouble? Who got in trouble?
No one ever gets in trouble here. That's one problem. Second
What?
problem.
No.
I was sitting there and I was going, in my head, I was like, I could get up and leave. And just knowing that I can do that is enough.
It's a good feeling.
That's enough.
It's a good feeling.
but he
Yeah.
didn't.
I didn't. I never do.
It's,
Malcolm?
it's
But I know I can.
knowing
God.
you can practice your free will.
Yes.
Without any
That
consequences.
was a perfect way to say that.
That's it. That's really it.
Because I remember when I worked at Nissan, and I remember one time, I always bring this story up because this is one of those moments where I realized that I needed to do something else. I think we were going to Super D in California, right? So I needed like 2 weeks off, right? Yeah, and I brought that up months ago. I was like, yo, I'm going to be taking up this. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. And in my head, I was like, you can take a look at it. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm going, dude.
So
what
then
are you talking about?
That month before, I'm like, don't forget, those 2 weeks are coming up in like a month or two. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll look into it and this and that. I was like, well, let me just stop you. I'm going to be leaving in a month or two for 2 weeks. You need to decide if you're going to fire me or not.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. It's
like, you just got to tell me if I have a job.
Straightforward. That's pretty much it.
So you let me know. And he's like, okay, we'll talk about it. I was like, I'm done talking. I just told you.
I don't like that. Yeah.
That annoys the hell.
Now, that being said.
Show me the respect of somebody else.
Yeah, that being said, this guy, probably one of the best supervisors I ever had. He wasn't the parts manager. He was the
above
service manager.
Above the parts
he's above them.
Okay. Good
so
enough.
he watched me do it. He let me do it. And I had my job. And he knew what was going on. He was like, you're building your own thing, this and that. And he let me do it. I saw him, I would say, 5 to 6 years later in that supermarket. I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea he lived around here. He said, someone says my name. I go, what the fuck? I turn around the parking lot. It's him. I go, holy shit. How are you? Whatever. He's like, oh, how are you? He's still the supervisor of some of my own old coworkers at another dealership now. They all moved.
Yeah.
And he goes, Brian tells me you have your own shop and everything. I'm like, yeah, it's down the street, actually. Yeah. He's like, oh, my God, I need to come check it out. He says, you're doing all these things, this and that.
I bet that shit feels great.
It felt amazing.
I bet that shit felt great.
Yo, get the horns.
It wasn't like a fuck you thing at all. I respected him the whole time. Yeah. And I still felt that way. So now it was more like someone who I respected is now kind of congratulating me in a way, which I don't ever feel I need that. But
it is nice.
It's nice to hear from
especially someone that was over you and seeing where you came from and where you're at now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, that's especially.
Even talking about it now is more emotional than it was in the moment. But yeah, that is a big deal.
Kind of
when you say something to me, because I view you as, I don't know. It's like, you know how it is when you view someone who's in your footstep. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, yes.
They're going down the same path.
Yes.
So it means more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially from someone that's where you want to be, or someone that's doing the same thing you're trying to do. That's side by side.
Yeah,
it does mean a lot because they know the battle.
Yeah,
they know the struggle.
Yeah,
and they understand that the risks it took for you to get where you're at, and all the moves you had to make. So that was definitely one of those moments.
Fire.
I never really think about that.
That's you getting your flowers. That's you getting your flowers without getting a bouquet. Like you got one flower, and that's sick.
And you could tell he was like excited about it. And I was like, well, you got to come by. He hasn't come by yet, but I think he will. I think he's going to come by the shop and check it out.
There was a couple times where someone came by my studio when I knew them way back when I didn't have anything to work out of yet, or nothing impressive I've done. And when they see it, that perspective of them seeing you go from this to that, and seeing their shock and their surprise, and seeing how proud they are, it's that perspective that kind of makes you look in the rearview mirror.
Yes.
As far as how far you came.
Yeah.
Because when you're in it, you're running. But when someone else comes in and they weren't in the whole journey, but they rather saw A and B.
Yeah.
They're looking like, holy shit, look what you did in this amount of time. It feels good.
Yeah. Fuck. That actually feels pretty relatable, because I feel like I don't go anywhere some days and I'm just sitting still. But then
you got to think about where you came from.
Yeah, but then I'm like, I wouldn't fucking know
perspective
how to do any of that
everything.
Last year.
Yeah.
So when you're a business owner too, it's like you really are stuck in that everyday thing. And you always, if you're a good business owner, you always feel like you're not enough.
Yeah.
So you always feel like you haven't done enough.
Yeah.
You haven't hit your goals. You haven't done that. So you never fucking, smell the flowers or whatever they say.
Yeah.
But then you'll get that one customer, or like you said, that one person that saw it from the beginning that comes in. And I told him about this the other day. This guy came in and he starts looking around and he's like, holy shit, you're like living the dream. And I was like, and then for a minute I was like, I am living the dream.
There's a couple times where I'm there alone and I'm working, and I don't know. I guess it just hits. A certain moment just hits, and whether it be I'm doing something and I look back and I see the way the cars are kind of stacked out, or I see my own cars or whatever it is, and you just like, I'm like, oh man, this feels amazing. Like, wow. Like, and then you think about the risks and the struggles and the shit you could tell to your older self, and you're like, oh my God.
Don't ruin it for yourself.
It's like, damn.
No, you're right though. It does.
So seeing that is just it hits at times, man.
I think that's something that happens in your 30s as a business owner if you've been doing it your whole life.
I think so. Yeah, really.
Because I did not feel this way in my 20s.
No, dude. Yes,
never.
you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
I never did.
You just don't remember it that way anymore.
No, Carl,
I swear to God.
I promise you.
No, dude. Last summer,
it's different.
But we didn't look at ourselves like we did anything.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But now I feel like we're getting to that point where like, okay, maybe we can smell the roses now. You know what I mean? Like, okay, a little bit.
Not to say that it's like I'm kind of slowing down.
Yeah.
To stop and all that, but it's just, I don't know. I guess perspective.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
You had like a little giddy moment.
When you're in it a little bit.
Yeah.
There's times it gets me emotional where I get really happy of everything that I made to live this type of life that I want to live, where I get really happy. Again, it gets me emotional, but I'm still far and few those moments. I wish there were more often, because there's times where it's very stressful.
I think we have to make those moments.
Yes.
I mean, occasionally someone will come in and it clicks, and then you're good.
I was gonna say, like when you said you don't slow down or anything, that nothing's slowing down. It's just that moment happens.
Yeah.
I choose to slow down because I don't.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah, you told me this.
I'm a spastic motherfucker when I start working. I will.
Well, that's
not
gonna mess
stop.
shit up, man.
No. Like if something's happening over here and I know something else can go get work done over there while that's happening, I'm going to go do it, because my time, I'm not wasting it. I don't want to waste it.
No. I say this, I teach this a lot whenever someone works for me, is sometimes you have the intent of being efficient. Sure. Where when one thing is happening, you want to do the other, you want to do something else, it's fine. But when you're being efficient and you're trying to be efficient, you can only do so much. Your brain can only do so much, especially when you're not amazing at this one particular thing. So when you're doing this one particular thing, I would tell the guys, I'm like, no, focus on this one thing. Don't get lost, because then your mind is here. Oh, I hope this thing is gonna cure properly here. Oh, but I'm gonna put down the body filler here, and then while that's curing, I'm gonna send this. No, you need undivided attention on this one specific thing until it's right, because otherwise it's going to take you so long to make that thing right. You need to focus. Don't get lost. I tell guys all the time, when I say don't get lost, like when you work on this, like let's say you're working on a big panel, like let's say you're working on a big hood, and you want to straighten the hood out, and the guys will start working on the whole hood at once. They'll start saying, I'm like, hold on, don't get lost. Work on one section at a time. I know you want to be efficient. You want to do the whole thing. Start here, break it all down. Then go here, then go here, then go here. Like, break it down, or else you're going to get lost. Like, I know you want to be efficient, but efficiency comes with experience. And with experience, okay, I've done this one thing 1,000,000 times. I can afford to do this thing at the same time because I've done it 1,000,000 times. So sometimes being efficient is not the best. My dad would always say, sometimes when you rush and you're not really in it, the work would never come out right. And I never thought it to be true until I would stop and slow down and realize, like, oh shit, okay, yeah. When he said, listen, go to sleep, come back to it the following day, I bet you're gonna approach it better. It would be true. Sometimes it's not good to burn yourself out.
He took this to the next level. He's got a chair in there. He just sits on the chair and just looks at the cars.
You saw. Yeah,
what I was gonna say, aside from now, I'm gonna be like, fuck, maybe I should definitely slow down more.
I would slow down. Slow down.
I do stop I like to stop sometimes to make sure I turn around. Does that make sense? Not the turn around, but literally just to like look at the steps you just took. Because there was that.
Yes.
I'm scared I'm chasing this high that I felt from the car number 1. It was a green high metallic high. I can only say the color because it was a good friend of mine.
Car looked pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how the fuck the paint laid on the panel. I don't know how it turned out shiny, but there was a point in time where my back patio in my house had so much shit all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Panels on stands waiting. This thing I'm working on. I got fans going. My hands are dirty. I'm looking at myself, and then I'm like, cool.
Oh, yeah. To kind of sit back and be
I'm
like, wow.
chasing this crazy high. I have a photo of myself. Like I sent it to my mom. Like, look at my little body shop. Like I'm just chasing
it's good to be excited.
this high of like accomplishment, I guess. And I feel like after that one, I'm like, damn, that next rung is. I want to just keep grabbing.
Of course,
rungs
yeah, but I mean,
to just get better. Even on this pod, I'm just absorbing information.
Yeah.
I'm just
Me too.
learning.
yeah, this industry sucks, man.
It does.
This
It
whole body
sucks.
shit sucks.
It sucks, but it's like I'm having fun. I don't give a shit.
Oh, of course. I mean, that was always the thing. Fun. But there's times I don't like every step of the process.
What's your least favorite?
I really don't. My least favorite.
Has to be sanding. Come on.
I actually like to sand.
Stop.
He said it the last time.
I actually like to sand.
He said it. He said.
I feel like I don't believe it every time.
You
That's probably
said
what it
if
is.
you come into the
Especially
shop
long-term sanding. I really
just
like
to
that.
sand, it's a good day for you.
It's good. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, like I like days where, like, let's say, special, like, not all kinds of sanding is the best. Like today, I had to wet sand. I don't like that. I like to shape filler and do all that kind of stuff to sand body filler and all that. That's really, really fun. I like that. But least favorite would have to be all the way at the end when after it's painted. Everything after it's painted, I don't like. Like I sand the entire car after it's painted. I wet sand the entire car. I buff, I polish. I do everything on my own. That whole process to sand the whole car, buff, polish, and then assemble without fucking anything up, I don't like.
It sounds like most painters hate wet sanding and buffing.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like. I used to have a good friend of mine that used to work for me. His name is Tito. He would do all my buffing and all my polishing, and it's like it was perfect. I was perfect. I did all the things I like to do, and the one part I hated, he would do. I was like, dude, you're my white mage, dude. Like, no one wants to do this shit, but you're fucking doing it. Amazing. And then he's doing his own thing. So then I'm like, okay, now I have to do this. I'm like, shit, I hate this. It is a satisfying process because at the end, you see the shine of all the work you put into it. Because when you're trying to make a panel straight, you don't really appreciate how straight it is until it's done. Everything's shiny. You know, the sun is hitting it, and you really appreciate it now. So, of course, it's a very important process, but I hate that process.
What about you, Carl?
I hate it.
So the shaping part is the part that I hate.
Okay, so you guys are opposite.
So,
almost.
but do you know what we're all different in this room. My tactic to that, you remember how each person can be good. If you're good at all of these things, you're never really going to be good at one. A jack of all trades is a master of none. Blah, 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 blah.
I knew a lot of those people.
A friend of mine, Javi, very detail-oriented guy, but doesn't know how to paint. Very detail-oriented. Patience level is high. That person, that teammate, that friend, that best friend of mine, that's my shaper. When they're done shaping and it's to their standard and they're okay with it and they like it and it passes their, standard.
He doesn't do all of it though. He
doesn't.
Some of it.
He doesn't paint or anything. Yeah. I'll finish it up. But like the number one building the panel, the straight structure, that's what they like to do. That's what I like to work on.
You got to do everything.
Everything from A to B.
Everything.
I used to.
Everything you have.
And
to.
then I found out he's better at me than it. And now I've crafted on the painting
what
stuff.
Kay's saying. I mean,
yeah.
Look,
you have to be able to pick it up and do it yourself.
Yeah,
right?
I don't like the fact that my good job is based on someone else being there or not. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact of if this person doesn't show up, now my work is going to be a little bit less than what it should be. It's not. You're paying for me. Like I should be able to do everything. I don't want work to stop if someone isn't there. And in the body shop world, there are only body techs because they're best, and then there's only paint guys. Then there's only prep guys. Then there's only this guys. Sure, but this
He's not a body shop.
This isn't a body shop, you know.
Yeah.
And I do.
That's what I was going to say.
From step one to
that's
done.
more like a business aspect.
Yeah.
That's more like an art aspect. I know he doesn't want to call himself an artist.
I don't want to say artist,
but
No,
I'm going to
he's
call
not.
him an
diva
artist.
shit.
But no, so that, you remember how I talked to a lot of old heads?
Yeah.
Old head number, I don't even know, was like, if you can't go in there into the booth, it was just about painting at this point. If you can't go into the booth and pick up the gun yourself and paint something without your painter being there, then just scratch this whole business model.
Yeah.
And now,
Meaning
that-
you should be able to do everything no matter what.
Because of the
Everything.
reliance
You have
factor.
to do everything.
You
Yeah.
can't rely
Yeah.
on anybody
You
else at the end of the day.
You can't. Like,
Yeah.
look, like, thankfully, that's why my model can work of having no employees, because it doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. All the jobs can still get done. Time-wise, I can still beat a lot of other shops doing overall builds. Not that it's a competition. I'm just using it as a standard of time that it's not slowing me down.
I was about to say,
I really don't care to be better than anyone else as long as I'm good to me.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't give a shit.
And that alone speaks fucking waves. You guys are literally both top tier business owners in my face.
I don't
now.
want to say.
I was gonna say, I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
Not-
I mean,
maybe not in terms
listen,
of capital, sure, but like
definitely
the way
not
that
capital.
I'm not gonna turn down a compliment.
here's your
Yeah,
flower
yeah, yeah.
one,
Thank you.
flower two. Take that
Carl.
shit.
Thanks,
because you both stand for what you guys believe in.
That's
and
true.
that is a business owner.
Thank you.
Dude, I worked for a big company, okay? The CEO there was
he
a
was
fucking
literally
retard.
in the corporate world.
I hated that world because that CEO sells out to everybody. Where are their beliefs at?
Yeah.
Nothing. That shit is a wash.
Yo,
No, it's completely, yeah.
Kay, where was the thought of money when you started this thing?
Money was a touchy one because, like, you want to know what's really fucked up is everyone would laugh at me because when I was, I'm going to say probably young 20s, this is when I started to make the choice that, okay, I want to do this for a living and not just make this a side gig. I always had this one thing I would say where I was like, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Fuck the money. Fuck the money. I don't care about the money. I just want to be good at what I do, and I want my opinion to be valued. That's it. That was always the goal. And then time went on and it creeped in, and I was like, wow, money is really evil. It really requires a lot of it to get your shit going. So, of course, we all need the money to get shit to happen and to get the bills to turn out good, to allow me to do what I do. But it's a really evil thing because I initially started with, I was like, I don't care about the money at all. I was like, as long as I do good, it'll find itself. It'll find itself to me, which thankfully.
It's the second
fine.
time you've said that.
Which one?
Everything just works out.
Everything works out.
Okay, I'm
My
over here
mom would
fucking holding
always say that.
string A and string
That's
B,
it.
and I'm like, please.
No.
Bow.
No, everything always, like, anytime I would get stressed, my mom would always be like, listen, just, it's okay. Everything always works out. Like,
My mom causes my stress. She's literally like, what if this doesn't happen? I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah, his mom
The
is,
way my friends are telling me.
It would cool me down because, you know, I would try to, like, think long. I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, just relax. Everything works out. It's all fine. And it does. It does. So,
Yeah.
money-wise, it works out. Like, when I got into the studio, that was in 2020, never would I have thought we would be able to buy the property out 3 years after.
Yeah.
No way, because I'm like, okay, because my initial goal was always, okay, if I could do what I love and just make it by, and I could just make it, pay all my bills, and just have food and everything, I'm fine.
Dude,
and
please
then-
don't say that.
and then-
Don't say that, please.
That's my
That's
logic.
my literal.
Yeah, I'm like,
logic.
I'm like, if I could just do this, please, I'm fine. And then you finally hit it, right? You hit it. I'm like, okay, I'm living it, right? You're like, okay, it's good. All right, it's fine. And then like you can't be comfortable. You can never be comfortable. When you get comfortable, shit goes flat. So I was like, okay, how can I like stand on my toes? Like, okay, wow, like we could live off of this. Okay, we made it. I'm doing what I love. I'm making money. Okay, fine. Let's do the next step. So like I didn't plan for any of this stuff out with the money wise and what I could do or buy or make the business bigger or whatever, but it happened, you know. But money was never the goal.
Yeah,
never
mine either. It was never even a thought in my head.
No, yeah, because this is your passion. So of course it's not about the money.
We already went over the goals. The goal was, I don't want a boss.
You don't want a boss.
That was the only goal.
I want to do what I want.
And that's still the only goal.
So it was never about the money. Yeah, money sucks, man. It's really
Makes you
evil.
think bad.
It's really evil. Yeah. And like back then, I guess it was a little bit harder because I would spend so much time doing this one thing, and I'd be like, okay, I painted this valve cover for you. I did this amazing shit, all this artwork, whatever. Okay, $200. I'm like, oh my god, I put in all these hours, and I only charge $200. This is wild. This sucks. And the years go on. You know, now I'm not worth that anymore. It's worth a lot more. So money isn't as shitty as it used to be. But still, the goal is still not money.
Especially when you're starting off. I mean, you have to make a name for yourself. Especially
especially when you're starting.
That's the business side of it too.
You can't. Yeah. You have to pay your dues. You can't just start off working on the cars you want to work on and making all the money you want to make.
Yeah, no.
You can't do that. You got to start somewhere, whether it be making no money or working on shitty cars that you don't want to work on.
That's where I think, if you don't have fun doing it, you're gonna find out kind of fast.
Oh yeah, fun is
because imagine if I didn't. Maybe last summer, imagine if I didn't have fun doing this or this, like. Bro, what the fuck?
What's
I
the
just
point?
spent thousands of dollars to fucking jerk off with me. Like, what am I doing here?
What's the point of even doing it? Like,
it gets me giddy. It's fun.
Can't forget that.
Yeah.
Some people run into that eventually. They just wake up one day and go, what the fuck am I doing? Because they realize they're not having fun anymore.
That is scary.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it happens. But, you know, someone like me, I'm speaking for myself, obviously, is I love what I do so much that even on my free time, I'm still looking up and searching the things, whether it be car pictures or whatever the hell it may be. I'm still doing it on my free time. Every single day, still, to this day, today, in the morning, I look forward to getting to the studio.
Yeah.
I look forward to the next step. I look forward to getting more closer to the finished projects, to what I envision, to what I'm trying to make, to whatever it may be. I'm always excited to get there. And for someone who wants that, I implore you, keep working. It's worth it.
Yeah.
That feeling of looking forward to your day. Like, do you know how many people probably wake up and they're just like,
yeah, that was me when I had a job.
Yeah, they just
2 months ago.
Yeah, that was Carl. And that's
just,
I'm glad you brought that up because that was actually probably the goal of mine. That was probably the real goal, not a boss. It was I want to wake up and enjoy going to work.
You want to enjoy your day.
Yeah.
You want to look forward to every step of your day. You don't want to rush through this one part. Like I used to work at Kohl's for a bit, okay? And when I used to work at Kohl's, I would have
the clothing store?
Yeah.
They don't paint cars in there.
I was there. I worked there when I was like 17, 18 or something like that. So I had like a 6-hour shift, like a 7-hour shift, whatever. I'll never forget getting in there, okay, and being like, oh my God, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, I got 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours. I would do all this shit. I'm working. I'm fucking putting clothes away. I'm helping this out. And I would look.
5 hours left.
5.5 hours left. Oh my God. I was like, how am I going to do this? And this is just my first week I'm working here.
Yeah.
So now when I'm working, it's like, okay, I've only been here an hour, right? I do something. I look. I've been here 5 hours.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
No, that's the worst.
Get me started.
Yeah, that's
but
like,
you had so much to do that day.
So it's completely different. Imagine the other way every day. Imagine every day trying to rush 8 hours.
Okay.
Dude, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Dude, that's a prison sentence. Dude.
That was 2
That's a
years
prison
ago
sentence.
when we had this conversation. Okay, this conversation that we had 2 years ago, every day in the office, sitting, why am I doing this?
Yeah, Carl was miserable.
Why?
I wouldn't wish that
And
on
I
anybody.
endured
It's
it.
tough. Yeah.
You know, life isn't pretty. I got bills. I can't just jump ship. I didn't plan. I didn't think ahead to. Not that that's an issue.
You're doing everything right.
But right is subjective always. But I don't know if somebody in there, and there are, who has like, I hate being in the office. I hate doing this. I hate doing that. If you really want it, make a plan. You're going to get fired eventually.
Yeah.
You're going to get fired eventually.
Everything's in your hands. I love when I talk to people and they like complain about life. And sure, people's circumstances are difficult. Sure, people are dealt unfortunate hands. I'm sure, but for the most part, it's in your hands.
Yeah,
it's in your control.
1,000%.
If you're doing something shitty, don't. It's really it's really that easy. All right, I gotta pee.
No problem. Use a new bathroom if you want. There's just no toilet paper.
He already did.
Yeah.
No, that 2 years was the most fucking excruciating shit until I got to talk to people like Kay or like Rad Mike or you some days.
Rad Mike
really fucking.
That one was good.
That one was good.
This one is turning out to be one of.
This is one of my fucking favorite ones.
Yeah.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him that.
Don't tell him.
He can't hear us.
He can't get no more flowers.
We should put speakers outside like they have at Rogan Studio,
so they can't hear us.
They can hear the conversation.
Oh no, that's so.
So you just hear talking shit.
No,
and they're like, "Wait, what?"
If I'm in there and I'm trying to take a shit, Frankie just made a bathroom. You made good chunk of that bathroom. That wasn't a contractor, was it, or was that you?
No, it was a lot of.
Or you just put the metal on the wall.
We didn't even do that. I gave up. Yeah.
Okay.
We were going to, but we gave up.
Okay, so you didn't. All right. Well, there's a bathroom now outside the studio, so you don't have to cross into the shop area.
Thank God.
Which technically was an insurance liability.
Yeah, of course.
If you think about it. So now no more insurance liability.
Yeah.
Drop the premium.
Drop the premium. Right? Yeah, they should drop the premium.
I want to say so far, because we're, a couple hours in here. If you've enjoyed this podcast so far, make sure to drop a like. Don't forget to keep liking those. I don't even know what the likes are at, but you guys pump those numbers up.
It's a lot.
Did you know that there's 500 plus people in the Discord?
Whoa.
I'm trying to be in there a couple times a week, but as you can tell from this conversation we've been having with SUPRLIFE K, we're all kind of busy.
So the Discord, do you guys still use that mainly for
gaming,
simming?
Talking, not just simming, we play normal video games in there.
Okay.
Do you play Call of Duty?
I fucking want to.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
What console?
But I just don't have any friends that play that shit.
What console do you have?
Oh shit! Now Malcolm's gonna roast me.
Why? What is it?
I have
is
like
it
an
Atari
Xbox
or something?
One, I guess.
Xbox One.
Isn't that the normal Xbox? That's the newest Xbox.
But everyone tells me I can't play the new one because it's
Like the new Call of Duty's probably not your shit's gonna fucking sound like a jet plane.
Oh, it's gonna.
But does that matter? Like I'll blow it up. I don't care.
You're gonna get the red rings or whatever.
I don't fucking.
I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I feel like it might not run it nicely.
Dude, I know
Should
Quan.
I just try it out?
Quan and Ethan would love to play. Dude, Quan was in the military. Yeah, and
That
Andy
shit's
too.
free.
Andy was in the military. You guys could be talking about guns and shit.
I wasn't, but I thought I was. So.
No, yeah, you probably fucking role play that bit.
I did when I was young. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Before I forget this, I just want to say this. We were talking about enough time in the day or whatnot, and how it flips. So does Monday and Friday. Oh, when I come here on Monday, it's like Friday to me. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's a whole week.
Cap.
On Friday,
Cap.
I'm miserable. I'm
Why?
like, fuck. Now it's the weekend, and I just gotta try not to work.
You got to find something to
You know
look
what I mean?
forward to.
I see. I mean,
I enjoy
but
working more than
You got to look
not.
forward to other stuff, Frankie. Come on.
don't you feel
I
that?
hike. That's it.
I guess.
To me, every day is kind of the same now.
A little bit, yes.
It
Yeah,
used
I
to
know
feel
what you're
like
saying.
Fridays were different because the weekend or whatever. But
Well,
like
if you
Saturdays,
work on the
I like to
weekend,
work.
yeah.
Like
Then yes.
I like to work. And Mondays though, I really do enjoy Mondays.
I love
though.
Mondays.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Especially if you had other people in there. Because then it's like, okay, now everyone's here. Everyone might not be there on the weekend, but everyone's here on Monday. So it's kind of like a fresh start. Okay,
Yes.
let's kill this week. Let's fucking, it's going to be good.
To really get it done.
Yeah, and then Friday comes and I'm like,
I like
oh.
Mondays. Yeah. I usually don't like end of the month, but
Yeah.
otherwise I don't
End
like
of the
that.
month is, especially for me, because I'm almost more in the office than anything else right now. Like I'm and I enjoy that. I actually enjoy accounting. I enjoy doing all that stuff. So it's fun for me. numbers too. I like doing all the numbers
Yeah.
and hitting certain goals and stuff like that. But like, even as we were talking about this, I was like, and you were like, yeah, it wasn't about money in the beginning, but now it kind of is. It's like, yeah, but that's only because it needs to be.
It needs to be. It needs to be to keep this thing like.
Yeah, and in my
going.
head, that means it's still not really about money.
No.
It just needs to be about a certain amount of money. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
That is a good way to put it because I mean, without that,
You can't do anything.
we're not going to be doing anything
Yeah.
that we're talking about.
Like
you know?
we couldn't do this. We couldn't have this space for everyone to come.
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
it would not exist. So
It wouldn't happen. I mean that goal though, I feel like with anything though, as time goes on, I feel like goals change. I feel like priorities change, responsibilities change. What's important changes. So I feel like the money aspect is like a fluid thing, whether it becomes important or not. It becomes important at times to get shit done, whether it be paying the bills, paying the
Yes.
mortgage, whatever it may be. But at other times, it's not.
Yeah.
I just want to work.
yeah, I don't know. I was always I didn't want anything to be about money like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
never wanted
yeah.
it to be like that.
It sucks, man. It sucks.
But
It
at
really
the end
is
of the
the
day,
root
it's
of
like-
all evil.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. If someone comes in here, and I mean, we already kind of set this place up. Our labor rate, we set this place up so that if you don't have any money, you do not come here. Because I don't even want to have that conversation of like, oh, well, my boy can do it for the.
Yeah, no. We're not doing that.
Don't come here for
But
that.
I feel like it gets to a point where when you become that good, that those conversations leave of saying, can you beat this price? Or I
Yeah.
found someone else who does it better.
And the
or
labor
whatever it
rate
is.
really helps with that.
But also, thankfully, which I don't have to deal with a lot, I don't have a lot of competition.
yeah.
I don't have a lot of people that can compete as far as not skill, but as far as what
Your
I
brain
do.
and vision, yeah, no one can get that, K.
yeah.
I mean, no, I don't want to hype myself
No,
up.
no,
and-
no, 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 no,
and
no.
gas myself up as
Because
far as that.
look over
But
here.
I don't
we
wanna feel-
don't got that over here.
I don't want to. I don't want to think. But there's like competition as far as not many people do this aspect of work. So I never really got that kind of argument from the start of saying this other guy can do it or this other guy
Okay,
can
well,
do
that's
it.
good.
There's not a lot of guys, which is fortunate.
And you
in
also have your own way of doing it where you're like, you vet the customer.
Yeah.
You go through the
big
process.
time. Yeah, I vet them big time.
Yeah.
Half because like how we were talking about when I'm interested in the work, it comes out better, and the other half is just time. I just can't take everything that comes in. I'm very fortunate, and I'm very happy that this amount of people want to come to me to let me do what I enjoy doing, to what I enjoy doing well. I'm very thankful for that, but. There's only 24 hours in a day, only 7 days in a week. I can only do so much. So being I vet them out, I don't get a lot of those arguments anymore. A lot of those customers anymore. So thankfully it's good. I used to have a lot of friends that would be like, "Hey, can you give me like a deal, a discount, whatever?" Those are out the window now because they understand how busy I am now. It's not just a start anymore. This is literally my livelihood. But there was one time, I don't know, I just thought about it now. This old friend of mine, he reached out to me this was like years and years back. I don't even think I had the studio yet. And he reached out, he wanted me to paint his bike tank things. So I don't
Tins.
know, I don't know bike terminology. The tank and
The fenders.
defenders and whatever the hell. Yeah,
TINS.
Plastics or tins. That's the only two things.
and it was like a Harley, so it's like
Tins.
metal
Tins.
shit, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, I want you to paint this." I said, "Okay, fine." So I told Peter, his name was Peter, and I was like, "Yo, Peter," I was like, I'm gonna paint it, but you gotta let me do my thing." He was like, "All right, yeah, cool." I was all right. So I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, all right, this is for a friend. I gotta do good. I gotta do whatever. So then I start. And I guess I went with this weird color scheme. I don't know why. It just came to me, but it was like a weird color scheme. And it was like a charcoaly color with and it was like pink, purple, and like a lighter purple. It was like all within this realm. And then I was like 50% into doing all these patterns. And I didn't send him a picture yet. So I told Peter, I was like, "Yo, do you want to see the progress?" He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." I was like, "All right, cool." so then I send him the pictures, and then he's not responding back. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened? So then he So then he texts me back. He's like, he goes, I'm not really a fan of like the colors. He goes, it looks kind of girly and this and that. And you know, to this day, I apologize to Peter about it because I went off on him.
Oh, really?
And he's like a childhood friend, man. Like we knew each other for so long, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You could really you're gonna tell me what looks good, and I lost on him on the phone, and I was like, dude, how could you tell me? And it pretty much ended with me saying, fuck it, I'm gonna erase everything. I don't give a shit. Don't even pay me. I'm erasing everything. If it's this or nothing. So he went, bro, like relax, bro. Like, what's your problem? Relax. So I was like, no, man, you can't tell me what to do. So after that, he said, okay, just continue doing continue doing it. I guess he just wanted me to shut up. So
Yeah.
I told you
That's your boy,
I
right?
don't take critique very
you
well.
finished that job and he paid you and everything.
So then I finished it. And then he came by, he paid me, and I guess he liked it when it was done.
Or he was scared of you.
So, or he was scared.
I was about to say.
And then to this day, I'm still apologizing. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I like flipped out on you. But that shit won best paint at so many places. That shit, that bike showed at the International Bike Show at Jacob Javits. That thing won best paint. That thing won all this shit. So even though I apologize on how I approached it, I'm like, but I was right.
But you son of a bitch.
But I was right.
You know what I thought the story was gonna go? So I painted it pink, I painted it purple, I did this. And then he didn't answer, he stopped answering me. And then he just texted me back and goes, bro, I'm in the Hell's Angels. Or some shit. Like it's just an all black bike.
Yes,
And he comes up with a pink bike.
No, it looked hot. But after that time, I said, I'm never doing work for friends.
Yeah.
Again, so I never did work for
I'm
friends
fucking
or anything
nervous
like that.
now.
You can't. You can't get the two mixed and involved.
No, because I
my
have a
opinion.
helmet with me where the kid Kenny, Colorado Kenny.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He
he'll
was
probably
like,
love anything you do
"All
for him,
right,
but yeah.
I'm gonna just drop it off with you and just let me know when it's done."
Well,
I'm the one giving him updates and shit because I'm like nervous that that's going to happen.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
I
I'm
hate
not
it.
a painter.
I hate it.
But as a customer, I would be like,
Let me see.
what colors do you like and what do you hate? You know what I mean? Give me something.
So,
You know what I mean?
Well, probably half of it might have been my fault, inexperience of having that talk. But like, I don't know.
It was one of your first jobs, too. Not first, but it was one of your earlier.
It was my first. I'm sorry, I'm burping on the mic. It was one of my first bike jobs.
Okay.
It was like first bike job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't really do a lot, and I don't know. I mean, you could be calling it an asshole. I could call it passionate. I was passionate. I was passionate about the fact that it needs the pink, man. It needs the pink. So I did it, and I was like, I'm never doing work for friends again. Yeah. It's just too much.
Unfortunately, half my customers are my friends.
I was gonna say this
Very
is the first.
difficult.
This is the first time that somebody's giving me creative freedom. So like that was, I almost kind of want to credit him for making me feel all giddy sometimes when I go into the booth and have to like.
I mean, that
think
is.
and like
to have to do stuff
put
with lines.
just
Yeah,
something where
yeah.
I'm like, there's nothing on this helmet, and it's a helmet.
I mean, look. Thankfully now it got to a point where people don't even. They'll just say do anything you want. I'm sure I'm gonna like it, and they like it, and it's fine. But it wasn't always like that. I had to have a lot of talks with them. I had to have update pics. But being that this was a friend, I was like, I'm not even going to update him. That was my mistake.
I just want to say thank God for those people that exist that come to you and say, just do whatever you want. I don't care what my own car looks like.
Yeah.
Because I can't even relate to that. I don't even understand that.
Yeah. I mean, me, myself, I'm so strong about the opinions of what I want on my own thing. I can't imagine.
I think we all are very opinionated.
But here's the thing, though, is those people understand that they're not as good at choosing things as you are. That's like, I don't know, me going to a place that does cabinets for like the kitchen.
See, I can relate to that.
What do I know about kitchen cabinets?
Yep.
You know? So you need to take the advice from the person who knows the kitchen cabinets. He goes, hey, you need to pick this because it opens like this. It works with your kitchen.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put that.
So the people that know they don't know as much as you, they're not the ones that are going to argue with you because they understand from the start. I'm in here because you know more than me. How do I get to this point with you? And then that.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I never
then
thought
that's
about it
it.
like that. I just thought in my head, I was like, oh, well, you own a car. You're into cars. So that means you know what you want your car to look like.
Listen,
but I guess not.
We all know that you can't buy style.
Yeah.
You can't buy what looks good. Just because you have it doesn't mean you're good at it.
Yeah, we definitely all know that.
Yeah.
People with
Motherfucker, I
cars that look like
definitely
shit.
know that.
Yeah, it's
We see cars that look like shit.
Being rich
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make your car sick.
You
God.
know what really hurts now? I'm seeing a lot because there's so many more imported cars now. Seeing JDM cars styled really bad by Americans is just it really hurts.
Yeah.
Like
Yes, sorry.
I really I'm like, oh no, why did
Yeah.
you take this and do this? And why did you do this? And like really nice cars, and they just style them very bad. In my opinion, they're styled very bad. But seeing them, because there's so many more imported cars now, like JDM cars, seeing them styled bad, it just proves you can't buy style.
Yo, I think we talked about this one other time, but talking about styles and stuff like that, you know what kind of went away? That whole like remove my rear bumper and put a wing on it mounted to the
Oh,
chassis.
thank God.
That kind of went away.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it went away, but it definitely died down.
Yeah.
I'm over that. And like,
Thank God.
You
what-
used to
what's
see
funny-
that shit driving down the highway.
I'm trying to think what car I saw it
And like
last on.
the worst part about it was they would take off the whole rear bumper, right? They'll put the wing, right? Okay, it's already bad enough. Then the braces.
Yeah.
They're bracing
cords.
it down.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, where are you going?
It looks like fucking, what are those bridges? Tension bridges?
Oh,
in it? What's it, GWB?
It's like, bro, you
Fucking-
got the Verrazano
Yes,
on the back.
literally.
Bro, what are you doing?
The worst part about that is when it's drifting too, and you see that
all moving.
motherfucker moving
you
like
see it,
this,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's gonna come off.
No,
suspension bridge. That's what I'm thinking of.
Seeing these trends come and go is really wild, but I'm happy that one's gone.
Yeah, because
I'm really happy that one's
someone
gone.
was talking about that the other day, like, oh, what styles do you think need to die, this and that, and I was like, I couldn't really think of any, but then I was like, oh, that one actually did die, kind of.
That one died. I'm happy that one died. I'm happy the spiked lug nuts
Oh yeah,
Are-
326 power.
Oh God,
are,
yeah,
are,
the key or
are dying.
whatever.
Yeah, they're really shitty. I remember when I think it was my Aristo back in 2013, 2014, something like that. It was cool to drive without a hood.
Oh, yeah,
I would
it
like take
was.
off my hood and go through all this effort
Yes.
just to drive without a hood. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're right. That
You
was a
remember that?
thing. Yeah.
And then it would be a thing to take off the bumper so you could see the front mount like while driving. It's like, why are we taking off panels
Yeah.
off the car to look cool?
I definitely took my hood off when I crashed my shit and my whole front end was
That's-
missing.
I
That's
took my
different.
hood off because my shit was overheating like hell.
Yeah.
That's why I took my hood off.
And-
no,
yeah,
no. When you do it for
and at the track,
when you do
yeah.
it for purpose, that's different.
oh,
than,
now it's
Yeah.
lame. Now it's
like
lame. It's like,
But he's right though. People did that.
one of the most lamest things I've ever done, and it's very embarrassing
Here we go.
to even admit, is I remember when I had, again, I think it was my Aristo, I had a fiberglass bumper that I made, and at that point in time, I guess it was cool for the car to look beat. I was like, oh,
This all
no.
came from
he
drifting.
fucking drifts his shit.
Yeah.
Wow, he's
Yeah.
a fucking cool guy, man.
Even the hood thing, everything, everything came from drifting.
that. So I had a fiberglass bumper, and I forgot what happened. It cracked. I hit something, and
Oh, I know what he's gonna do.
And like it cracked, and I'm like, oh, I want to do the zip tie.
Yeah.
No,
I knew
so
it.
I'm like, but it's not that big of a crack yet. I'm such an asshole. I cracked it more, just so I could have more zip ties on the fucking bumper. Like,
no.
what the hell was I thinking? Dude, I lose sleep over that now. I think about that shit was years ago. I'm like, I can't believe I
No,
cracked the bumper
believe
more.
it. I've done lame shit like that.
I recall having this is back in high school. My second car was an Eclipse. All right, it was.
Ooh, no, not
it was,
Frankie
it was,
again.
It was a
I know
Mitsubishi
it.
Eclipse.
I know it.
Second gen? Ooh.
Second gen.
Oh, he loves that
Second
shit.
gen.
I love that
saw
car.
one on
No
the
way here.
turbo.
Okay, that sucks. But 428,
Automatic.
428.
yeah,
Automatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
428. The engine sits the other way in the engine
Yeah,
bay.
yeah.
Yep.
It was absolutely ridiculous. So I had this car, and obviously it wasn't manual. So it was in high school, and I wanted the car to look cool. You know, we're all watching Fast and Furious, we're watching Tokyo Drift, we're watching all this shit. I want the car to look cool. We got no money, right? So I forgot. I do something where I started getting made fun of the fact that the car wasn't a manual car. So I'm like, damn it, it's automatic. Damn it. So I put a shift boot over it, right?
I knew it.
So then I changed the shift knob to look like a manual shift knob, right? So that's not the worst of it. So now I'm just, I'm driving and I put the shit into D. I freaking go 1, 2, D, 2, D, right?
God, it's just getting worse.
I'm doing all this shit. And then what's cool is when the car is parked, people look inside like, oh, this shit's manual. So whatever, fine. One day, I think I'm about to leave school or something like that. And a couple friends see me and they're on the corner and they're like, it's like, oh, this shit is cool. Oh, it's stick. I'm like, it's the shit I do, right? I'm like, oh, this shit is fire. What? So I'm like, so then they're like, yo, we need a ride. Can you just take us?
Oh my God.
So now I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do, right? So then I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, jump in. So the dude sits in the front. So I'm trying to hide the fact that there's no clutch pedal. So I'm like, just fucking, and I'm just doing I'm just dropping the shit into gear. The thing's going, and it's just taking up. And he's like, yo, you got to work on, taking off from the clutch. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm still trying to figure out. And he's watching me going from 1 to 2 to D to fucking this. And we get there and I put the shit in park and he's like, and I'm like, oh, no, I put it in third, it's just, whatever. And I pulled the handbrake up and shit. And then they left and obviously I don't know if they knew, but they didn't say anything. But I think back, I'm like, damn, that was so cheesy. I can't believe
that was pretty impressive that you might have got away with that.
I pulled it off. I'm literally sitting there dropping the shit down. I'm like, oh my God, it's horrible.
That's the funniest story.
Yeah. It was pretty embarrassing. And
that just got worse and worse.
Funny enough, everyone has a story like this because we all did corny shit.
Yeah.
Drilled holes into a stock exhaust to make it sound more loud and all that shit. We all did really lame shit. But now looking back at it, it's just, it's a stupid, funny story.
That story's amazing.
God damn.
I had to pull it off. And I'm like, how I do it.
Yeah,
as soon as, because technically you didn't say no. You didn't say either. That,
it was dumb, man.
As soon as you said it was an auto, I was like, oh no, he's putting a boot on it. He's putting a boot on it. Crown Royal shift boot.
I had an ex-girlfriend that had an Integra like that. And it had the boot. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
And the worst part about it is that wasn't the only time. I had so many cars that were not manual that I tried to make look manual, putting a boot over it. I had a Bug Eye. I had a WRX. And I wanted it to be manual so bad. I didn't get it manual. I didn't know how to drive manual, so I just put a shift boot over it. And at events and meets, it would look all right. But anyone in the car, it was just the most embarrassing thing ever. Yeah, my cousin and I put a lot of shift boots on automatic cars.
Thank
amazing.
God that
Very
is done and
embarrassing.
that you're building some of the best looking cars I've ever seen.
Yeah, back then it was just manual shift boots on automatic cars.
Some people from around the world and possibly in the U.S. are probably like, God damn it, what the hell,
If you were wondering why all those fucking automatic cars had shift boots on them.
Dude, that was me, man.
Also, if you're wondering why the cars look so good now that you're creating, it's because you came from stuff like that.
Because we fucked up so many cars. Dude, it's just we fucked up so many cars. I think about it, my cousin bought a brand new Scion TC back when it was hot. In 2016 when it was hot.
Yeah.
When the
commercials?
They had the commercial where you could mod it and shit.
The commercials were good.
And dude, the shit had under 500 miles on it. We drilled holes into the trunk to put a spoiler.
Oh my God.
And a spoiler. I'm like, dude, we put neons under the car, and we didn't know how to wire up the thing. So the way we would turn on the neons, we would open up the bay, and we would stick the wire
into the
on the battery.
Yep.
Yeah, and then close the hood, and then just start driving.
Back when they were actually neons too, and not
that was actually when it was a neon. Yeah, there was the hard strips. Yes, the hard strips.
That shit was sick.
God. Wild. Yeah, it was we fucked up a lot of cars, but you fuck up cars and you learn how not to
fuck up cars.
Yeah.
I had orange wheels.
Oh, that's
not bad.
I had pink wheels on my on
That
my
was
Subaru.
that was a fit. No. The fad was teal. Like it was Tiffany blue.
Yes,
you remember
yeah, that
that?
was the thing. Dustin had those
Everybody
wheels.
started
That was
spray
the worst.
painting their wheels Tiffany blue.
Well, any type of colored wheels now, I think, is just
I only like them
absolutely yuck.
I'm not a highlighter.
The
wheel
neutral
person.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Horrible.
silver.
Horrible.
Not really black.
I love
wheels.
bronze wheels. I'll always love bronze.
But
wheels.
yeah, the catalog colors.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
My
colored wheels. And back then, we would just spray paint all the stock wheels. Just like
Yeah.
fucking spray bomb
Yes.
them,
Plastic dip,
gold or
too.
whatever, plastic dip. Man.
Yep, that shit
Huge.
was
I
sick.
fucking hate
How
that
many
product
cars we
so
fucked up with
much.
plastic?
Yeah. People
How
who
many
painted
cars?
the whole car. That shit was
I feel
crazy.
so. Though I now know, like, I'm so happy I didn't dip my car when I wanted to, because there was that site.
Dip
Dip your car. Yeah, literally.
So gay,
Dude,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's what I did. I
So,
had orange dipped
It was-
wheels, man.
No, now I
Yeah.
know anybody who dipped their car, they ruined their car. Like,
Yeah.
there was no
That-
way that shit was peeling off.
Dude, it took so
everything.
long.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
we had
yeah.
a car in here that was plastic dipped, and I was like, fuck. I was like, we gotta take this whole thing
Have
off.
you ever seen a plastic dip car get dirty and how bad it looks?
Oh,
so
yeah, because it's
bad.
all grippy. It's very grippy.
You can't wash it. You can't,
Yeah.
like it's just the worst.
You spread the dirt around.
It's I knew someone that dipped their car and they went to get a car wash. And the way the thing looked coming out of the car wash was just like a joke.
yeah,
was
it
like
gets
nothing,
more and
nothing.
more
Yeah.
dull.
It
It's
just
all
looked like
matte.
shit. Yeah, it just looked
Yeah.
like shit.
And then
Ye-
vinyl came out, and we still feel the same way about that.
Yeah,
Ethan's
vinyls.
car?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kidding,
yeah.
just kidding. One of our sponsors.
Vinyl and paint is a big argument. Yes.
Yeah.
The 13 that I painted, Ethan's, it's like that Subaru color. That had he replaced the door, and when I was going to go prep the door, I like rubbed it, and I was like, no. Is this plasti dip on here? Oh yeah, dude. So then we had to sit there. I'm like, no, you're gonna peel
Yeah,
this
you're
off.
gonna do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's
You brought
the
me
worst.
this.
Yeah.
And like what you learn is the more plastic dip you put on, it's more, the more you put on, the faster it comes off.
Yeah.
People don't think that because people don't put a lot. And when you don't put a lot, it's harder to come
Yeah,
off.
'cause
and
then it tears.
And then you essentially mess up your whole car, your whole outside. And it doesn't
Yeah.
peel right and it leaves residue. It's really
I can't
bad.
believe how big of a thing that was.
Yeah,
and now
it's
gone.
it's nice to see how far we came.
as a species.
Yo, I
Yes,
bet that
from
guy's
plastic
forearms
dipping
are still
cars.
huge though.
On where?
The dip your car guy.
That's still a big thing. Like,
I don't know. Malcolm, can you Google it?
I think it's still a thing. And like
The spokesperson was ripped. All I know is I'm like, why is this guy got huge forearms trying to sell me
it
plastic?
probably,
Yeah,
it's probably still a thing in like. It's
Look
like,
at this!
Like away from the coast.
There you go. I
probably
mean,
still a
listen,
thing.
I feel bad now because this guy's
15%?
this guy's trying to make a living, and I'm over here shitting on his thing. But
Hey man, we're a
I
safe
mean-
space. We're pretty far into the pod right now. I don't think Fonzie Fonzarelli is giving us fucking.
Is that his name?
is that what his name is?
I think that is because
No,
I
that's
pulled that from a
crazy.
core memory. I think
Really?
that was really weird because I didn't remember that 10 minutes
Imagine,
ago.
go up
Dude,
to the center
there's-
wheel. Imagine plastic dip in that and trying to take it off.
There's
outta
pearls
here.
and tints.
Dude, they got color shift pearls. I think
That's nuts.
Is the paint glossy yet? Did we get to that?
They have a clear.
yeah, they
that-
have
Oh,
a
they do.
clear.
that you could put over
Where
it,
is it? It's,
and the clear makes it shiny.
So they sell hyper dip and they sell plastic.
Autoflex. Check Autoflex, Malcolm, to the right.
I don't know. That
There's like a
Mustang's pretty
tab.
sick.
Watch this. Oh no, it doesn't have anything pictured.
Base coat. Get the hell out of here.
Nah, man, nah. I mean, but look, sold out. So
You're right.
clearly, people are buying.
Yeah, I get it. Clear.
That's
Yeah?
crazy. People are buying this shit. Yeah, but that was a thing, man.
There was
Wow,
there
that
was
really-
a lot of trends that we've come
Look at
away
look at the
from.
finish on that one, like the one the guy.
You can
standing
tell
in
it's
front of
shitty
it.
from here.
Yo, this guy's spraying with the home.
No, that's what they
with the-
spray it with.
Oh yeah, is it?
It doesn't
Oh, my God.
require, like-
yeah, that's like home paint.
at
It
the
doesn't
quality of it.
require to get
Shit looks
thrown at
terrible.
the panel at like a rate, I guess that. Hey man, they managed to build a market on
I
it,
don't
and
know,
they're
bro.
probably kind of rich.
Look,
so
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
probably.
I'm sure.
But like we said, money ain't the thing.
yeah, money
yeah,
ain't a
it's-
thing.
No, I'm sure they're still making a living and doing their thing because there's still people that don't want to pay the obscene amount it is to restore their car and paint and all that shit. They want to
Yeah.
do something themselves, fine. But you have to be You have to understand it's not going to look as good as it would if
It's
you would
not
do
going
it
to look
right.
as good. Just know what you're signing up for.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's kind of like I don't know.
Dude, I remember when that shit came out, I think.
I remember too.
And
I don't know about when it came out.
That was a huge fucking deal. It was like, you can paint your car and not have it be permanent? Sick.
And now that's vinyl. And it looks a lot better, but I still feel like vinyl it will never, ever, ever be where paint is.
No,
never,
of course.
in my eyes.
No. And if you realize what you just said, it went from dip to vinyl, both things being temporary.
Yeah.
Everything that tries to fill its place is a temporary mod, is something temporary to the car where you have the possibility to somehow take it off down the line.
Yeah.
Anytime something is temporary, it's never going to look as good as a permanent addition to the car. So those
Yeah.
temporary things like dip and wrap and all that, not shitting on it again, just it's not my preference.
Yeah.
It's not going to allow the car to look as good as it can be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man.
that's just it. But I'm sure if you see the SEMA build and you go to SEMA, you'll see shit like that, and it'll still be up there.
But,
It's not taken away from that.
To me, I don't know. When I see a wrapped car, like, I'll just open the door.
Yeah. But what I'm seeing now, I would use that as
But
the argument. But now people are they wrap
the
jams.
jams.
If I can open that
They
door
wrap-
up and I can't tell that the car is vinyl wrapped,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking amazing.
But I've had
Well,
seen, like, they fucking get
They get
in
into
there.
the jams. They
I
get
know,
into
but
everywhere,
I might be looking a little differently than the normal person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going right
Like,
to a.
Not even opening the door. When I look at, like, let's say a car has the roof from the pillars
Yes.
into the quarter without any kind of break in the middle, and there has to be a seam somewhere in the vinyl, I'm going to spot that seam.
Yeah.
And I see it because it's right on top, whether it be the quarter, whether it be whatever. There was this FD once at this show, and it looked really nice. And FDs have, it's a seamless flow
Yep.
from the roof all the way into the pillars, into the quarters. And unless you do it in one piece, you're going to have a seam right at the pillars. And I was 5 feet away, 10 feet away. I could already spot it.
Yeah.
And that seam is just a killer. It
Yeah.
kills me. That's the real thing.
I totally agree with that.
Like right there. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like, open the hood.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you gonna remove
Exactly.
the engine, remove all the accessories, and vinyl wrap the engine bay and put that all back?
I just don't. I
Imagine
don't,
if you're
wrapping the
not,
bay.
then we're
Imagine
done.
wrapping
I
the
don't
bay.
like that because then, bro, there's chemicals and shit in there. Paint will sometimes fucking.
I don't
clean it.
You know what I mean, though.
The
It's
fact
like,
that you
Yeah.
could clean it and you can repair it,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
some people,
Yeah.
some people don't look at the details like we do.
But yes,
so,
yeah.
So they're like, oh, I want a different color car right now. Okay.
Just a general thing.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of high-end cars go that
Yeah.
route over painting because
You're going to ruin the car.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to ruin the car. Just
You're either gonna
wrap
pay
it, just
$20 to
wrap the
$30,000
Lambo.
or you're gonna ruin it.
Just wrap the Aventador. it's fine.
wrap the Lambo,
It's cool.
wrap the Rari, wrap whatever you gotta wrap.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it like that.
That makes more sense.
But when it comes to other cars, like if someone wants to restore a R34 and they want to do it right, no one's gonna go through all that process and
Yeah.
at the end wrap it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's a GTR. Let's do it right. It's a proper car. So
Yeah.
when it comes for things like that, there's no other option than paint. No one's gonna go through all that work, do all that body work, and then wrap the car. At least not anyone I know.
No, I don't know
At least.
anyone who would take the engine out
There's
and
also
wrap
just
it.
like the overall like presentation, I guess, or like I guess what that product has to stand for. Like if you saw there's like this old lowrider called the Gypsy Rose.
I heard
It's like it's a lowrider that has like
Yo,
I forget,
Malcolm, bring that up. You'll
I
like
forget
that.
how many roses are on it, but there's a lot, and they're all hand.
You've probably seen this car too, honestly.
I think I know what car you're talking
Yeah.
about.
It
I
has
think the
a
whole
lot
underside is done too, and everything.
Tons
like
of roses. I forgot the count. It's like hundreds.
Yeah, this car's famous for the paint job.
the Gypsy Rose. No, it's famous. It's called the Gypsy Rose because it was on a show called Gypsy Rose.
Oh, I seen this.
Okay.
I seen this.
And it was on the show for 2 seconds. Literally. That's why they
candles.
call it the Gypsy Rose.
The
But
light.
like what this has to stand for is like, I don't know, like somebody did that and
That's crazy.
old school way did that, which was painting. And I'd like to see a wrap
yeah,
look
no.
like that.
Yeah, yeah,
or have
yeah.
or hit the same or have the weird imperfections in it that make it paint.
Well,
Who the fuck is drawing that on a wrap? Then you're just,
here's the thing though, is you can wrap that though.
You
to be
could.
exactly that.
Yeah, but which,
Yeah, but the problem is when you
Yeah.
go up to it and you look at
That's
it.
the thing.
Yeah, it's not gonna
it's
hit.
wrapped.
You know what it really comes down to is not the look of it. If we're talking real, like, it's not the look of it, because let's say wrap has gone so far, you could print that out, okay, and wrap the car.
Yeah.
So what it really comes down to is credit to the work and the time invested. Because when you go up to it and you see all the work, all the layers, all the paint, all the hand stuff, you're like, wow. So
Dude.
that wow factor of investing that time is why it's what it is. Because you could print that out, you could print the roses out, print whatever, but once someone goes up to it, like, oh, it's a sticker, and then they're gonna walk away.
It's done.
Loses it.
But if you go up to it, you see it's paint, guess what? Someone's gonna be there for for 20 more minutes, for a half hour. They're gonna walk around the car. At least someone who cares. They're gonna walk around the car. They're gonna look at everything, not looking for imperfections.
They're gonna look
which
at
is
every
wowing.
rose on that car and be
Those-
like,
they're gonna wow
holy
everything.
shit.
Every flower on there is not the same. Like, because somebody had to draw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And brush it, airbrush it on, and then
yeah, it's
move
beautiful.
down the entire fucking car in this whenever this car was made.
But like you said, if you saw it and it was vinyl,
It's like,
you
oh,
would just
just
kind of
attention to
it's like, oh, it's
detail,
like-
like,
you would
it's
just
a
kind of
sticker.
walk away.
It's a sticker, yeah.
and like
yeah.
it's not a perfect
I
car.
love that the sides are not equal.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
different.
nothing on it is perfect, which is what tells me it's paint.
cool.
Somebody took some time to do it, and that was during an era where they, painting techniques have probably changed a little bit since then. Products have changed since then. Like, it's just neat. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's a different style than what I like. And
I had recently done this art piece for a valve cover. It was for RB26. It was styled after R2D2 from.
Oh, I think I saw it.
From Star Wars.
Dude,
oh my God.
There you go. So it took me a long time to do everything. I was looking at everything and I wanted to apply it right. I wanted it to speak for itself as far as what I went for. Now, when I posted this on, I think it was on Facebook. Facebook is really screwed up with like the comments. People are really fucking angry. So people were like, "Oh, what a waste of time! You could have just gotten that printed out."
Oh
and like
my
it's like,
God,
dude,
bro.
you're missing the point, though.
what are they saying? To hydro dip it or whatever?
Yeah, because it's possible. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's the only alternative.
that's
Yeah,
the
but
world
where's
we're
the
living
cool
in.
factor?
like
Look how sick that is.
Damn, that looks sick.
All that tape work. Like if you go one back, just laying all that shit down to figure what colors are going where, that's the most fun.
That's
the
so
most
long.
fun.
Yeah.
So doing this shit is why the end result is impressive. Now, someone could have printed it out and applied it, but once you see it, it's like, oh, it's a sticker, and then they're just gonna walk away.
Exactly.
Rather than saying, oh, it's paint, and like, holy shit, this guy went through every square and did all the different lines and to look like I had to make the middle, even though it was flat, I had to make it look like it was vents. So I would apply the lines and make it look like it was fading to make each vent look like it was apart, to make it look like there's some depth to it, like it's going down, you know?
I love this. This is great. I'm also a Star Wars.
I
nerd,
remember
but-
me and Diego saw this on your page, and we were just like, "Man, how the fuck does he come up with this stuff, man?"
Well,
Damn
in all fairness, the customer was like, "Here's what I want. Just do this. I want a theme like this. Do whatever you want."
Look at the vents.
Okay, fine.
Good for you. I don't know. How
Yeah,
the fuck
yeah.
You
Yeah,
came
yeah,
up
yeah.
with
That was
that.
fun.
Two things to say to that. The people in those comments on Facebook, that's the kind of world we're living in right now.
Yes.
Where they
Yes.
care, but we can do it so much cheaper and
Where
easier.
you could really tear apart someone not only having a fun time, making a living.
They don't care about
and
it.
creating shit. Like, oh, just print it. Dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah, they don't
What
care
about-
about
you're
any
an
of this.
idiot.
They just
What
care
about that little
for
cap you used to cover the, what is that? The Kaz?
So
yeah.
What was that? An ashtray or a bowl?
That cap is for RB25s that want to run the cam because there's a cam on that side where you get to run their version of VTEC, which is the Neo. And the Neo to run that because it's an RB26, the cover, it's going on an RB25. For it to fit, that part had to be
Like popped out,
extended
yeah.
out for it to have space on the inside for it to clear. So they sell that, and you get to put it on your RB26. So being it was on there, And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna mold it on there, and I'm gonna implement it into the styling to make it look like it was part of it, and it worked with the theme.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like
that dome looking thing worked. It looked like an R2D2
I love the
thing.
RBD2.
I was waiting for a little story for Kay to be like, yeah, I was sitting at my desk. There was this bowl next to me.
And I just
fucking
fused it
put
on.
it on. Because I had a friend tell me some bullshit like that too, where it's like, yeah, I was literally just in my kitchen and here it
And
is.
it found
Like,
it.
I'm like, what the heck?
No, that was for it
Dude.
to run their Neo.
But just know, I hope you do know this, that people like us and others alike all thank you for doing stuff like this.
Oh no, thank you for the interest, man.
And
Always appreciate it.
making stuff and then giving us like some sort of thing to work towards, to be better than you.
I mean, the 12,000 people that
better
like
than me.
that
Yeah, like-
compared to
like
the
what you
4
told-
people that hated it on Facebook.
Like what you
They
told
hated it.
Nakai, like you're gonna be better than bro.
I told her, I was
that was
like,
great.
dude, I was like, I'm gonna be better than you. I was like, I work 100 hours a week, so I could beat you.
And that's the reason why
and he
people
went good.
hopefully it keeps growing like this.
And everyone I teach, I always tell them, I'm like, because they'll say something like, okay, I want to do what you're doing, because we all have someone that we look up to. When I was 18, I looked up to someone who was doing whatever it was. So these young kids, when I helped them, and they're like, I want to do that. I was like, I want to do what you're doing. I was like, no. Do more than me, dude. That's the way shit gets better. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Or everything here, if someone's taking inspiration from it and they want to do it and be better, fuck it. Take it, dude. Beat me. Please. Take it. Amazing. Amazing. Especially if they used me as inspiration to be good. Even better, man. That's winning.
Dude, that is
It's winning.
when you post and share your work like that, that shit fucking keeps us going. I
I think
swear
we
to
need
God.
Kay to come by once a year at least.
Yeah, because then I can check in. Like,
we get some motivation and everything. You know,
I mean, I don't want to sound like I preach. I don't want to sound like that at all.
no, but it's
just-
nice.
this
It's
is
nice.
thinking out loud.
You're saying
like-minded people. So
Yeah,
it's,
I like
you're saying
having-
all the good things, man.
I
No,
like
that-
the conversations
thank you.
we have. Like
Thank you.
they're
It's fun.
because then you have a conversation. You're talking. I can fucking sit and listen.
Yes, and it's not many times I get to sit and talk about this kind of stuff. I think we were talking about
Yeah,
it
we
the
were.
last time because I don't go to a lot of events or meets or car shows, whatever.
Well, you
This-
might be a little busy now.
the
that's why.
social stuff is very difficult for me. So
Yeah.
it's
you know, he
nice
said
to-
that last time we were doing the video. He said, social things are hard for me. I was like, well, you just killed this video. And he always kills it on
fucking always-
podcasts.
You
That-
said that the last
yeah.
time. I don't really talk, guys. I'm not an artist.
I'm not really a social.
Draws a whole R2D2.
No, I've always liked to be alone and do my own thing, and I don't have a lot of social interactions. And
I feel you. I get
then,
it.
like the couple times I go to an event, a car event, I don't get a lot of it because I want to talk shit like this, and people want to talk about other things that don't matter, which I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about. So it's nice to have conversations
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this,
And I-
Where you can actually talk.
where I could talk about
Yeah.
stuff that is going on, stuff what I'm thinking, where we came from, where we're going.
Yep. I feel like most conversations
the whole
now is like, yo, that video's sick. And
Yeah,
that's
it's like
it. And
it's like, yo, I'm not sure if you saw this post, but dude,
Yeah.
who cares about this, man?
Yeah.
It's like, look at this, look what I did. Like, what did you do? What did we do? What did this like?
or like, no, this
nothing.
is what it is nowadays. Yo, look at this meme.
yeah,
That's literally that's 2024. That's like 2025. That's it. It's just memes.
These events are very difficult, and it's funny because like I get invited to go to meets or shows or events or whatever it may be, and I don't go. And I always think it's bad for business because I should go out there. I should be networking and talking to more people. But at the end of the day, I want to be true to myself. This is why I got to do what I do, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it is to do what I want to do, and I want to work.
I think as long as your work is out there.
Yes, exactly.
You don't need to market.
That's my peace of mind. Is I'm saying, you know what? If I put out enough shit, that it'll make up for my lack of being out there.
Yeah.
And trying to sell my work. I'm hoping that the word of mouth and how psycho I am with how good I want to be does its.
I mean,
its
that's the
talking.
good part about your business. It's like everything you put out is literally a billboard.
Everything, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
rolling
it
billboard.
really is. Yes,
Yeah.
it really
It's
is.
literally a rolling billboard, and it's
It is.
they're going to go to shows where other people need stuff done.
Yeah,
like it's,
yeah.
That is really cool. One cool, really good aspect of it.
It's
Did we get
also-
questions from Malcolm? Oh, we did. Okay.
It's real freaky that I don't. I never post anything about asking for work, and I get work. So it's kind of nice. The industry is getting bigger than it's moving. I think
It's moving.
Okay.
It's moving. And, coming from a place where I seen slow times and come to times where people really ask you to do a lot of shit, that's nice when you get people showing up
Dude,
and wanting to get work done.
Your empire, man.
Empire. I don't know about Empire.
Dude.
I'm just having a good time.
You built that. Both of y'all. You guys really did that.
Thanks, Carl.
It's
Thank
nice
you,
to
man.
hear
It's
that
nice.
you
You're
guys
you're
take
part
some
of ours,
second to turn around and look at it. I'm telling
It's
you,
nice.
pretty
No, it's
fucking
nice when
sweet.
someone talks about it because we don't see it. So
I know you
it's
fucking
nice.
dude. He's over here like, oh, I'm happy on a Monday. Bruh, I'll come in here on Monday morning and he will not look happy.
No, I'm happy.
I love Mondays.
I like Mondays.
I will
love
say I cannot
Mondays.
wait to fucking go. I'm like, damn, I want to go home and pay some.
Love
but
that.
now I
Yeah.
gotta go to the booth tomorrow anyway. So
I'm gonna ask some of these. A lot of this we probably covered already, but this is a good one. How would SUPRLIFE make a 350Z look cool? I actually kind of like this question.
good cue.
I don't like Z33s at all.
Yeah, it's hard.
At all. The last one I did a lot of shit for it, and it looked good. And I just told myself from that one, I'm never doing one again. Z33s, Z34s, I don't like. I did a bunch of them. I don't like anymore.
34.
I will turn them down.
I'm like, what
No. The
newer Z.
No.
No,
the-
see, 370.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Forgot about that
Z32
guy.
and Z31 I like.
Yeah,
but
you like 90s style.
I like
cars.
90s style. Yeah.
the
And
line's
plus
got more
the
character.
Z33s
That shit is doing all.
Okay, but do me a favor, Malcolm.
Z33s, I'm not a fan.
2008 350Z Nismo in silver. This is the only Z I like.
the shit from the poster.
Nismo one is nice.
Right?
Nismo one is nice, but like it goes against what we're saying though because you don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it just
I want to get your opinion on this car
because
though,
everything
because
down to the wheels was fire.
we had a customer in here the other day. I wish we had those photos because that car looked good. But and he had this car and it's stock, and we just looking at something underneath. I said, "Yo, man, not for nothing. This is the nicest Z I've had in this shop, and nothing's done to it."
see it's nice because of that.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I don't know why Z's when they mod they end up looking really cheap. The cars
Yeah.
like go downwards. I don't know why.
I think it's two things: that rear
The
bumper and that
Nismo
wing.
one is really nice. I wouldn't do like obviously I would
That-
keep,
that angle.
I would keep the whole exterior. I wouldn't change a thing except the wheels. Wheels and height.
Dude. The
For
wheels. This guy
stock
wants
wheels,
to.
those things are cool for stock
They're
wheels.
they're
man.
cool, but
I'm gonna veto that.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it could be better.
imagine it
definitely
on those
could be
wheels that
better
you
for
like, Carl.
sure.
You know those Volks that you like?
GTCs.
Yeah, imagine those.
Oh,
Yeah,
GTCs,
on
those are
GTCs,
retro.
that is.
Yeah, I would change wheels, and I would go height. But height wise, I would go.
Even
nice
that one's
and low.
ruined right there because he tinted the tail
Yeah,
lights.
I'm trying to see why
Yeah,
I didn't
Malcolm,
like
go
that. I
back.
don't like
Go
that
back
one
to
either.
that photo that you go up. That one on the left. That's how the car looked when it was in here. You see the red in the taillights?
Beautiful.
was-
Oh yeah.
And the Nismo and
Bright
like,
red.
Yeah, that red,
Band
the
pack
silver.
lift
that
in
rear
the
bumper.
back.
That rear bumper looks really nice.
Yeah, man. The car is just. I was like,
But I
don't know.
I hate those door handles. I hate
Yeah.
C33 door
I hate the
handles
doors. I hate everything.
so much.
You know what I don't
I
like?
hate that pillar panel. That
Oh my
that additional
God.
panel that comes off.
That
You
breaks
can't
and then it costs
see.
$500.
Yes,
You cannot
Sucks.
see out of them, dude.
You can't see it.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not the tallest person in here.
And look, I'm only speaking from a exterior perspective. I'm sure the car drives well.
The car drifts really well.
Obviously,
Yeah.
people are using them on the track. I don't know enough about that aspect to say anything, but just going from looks wise, there wouldn't be a lot to do. I would just
Less
lower the
is
hell out
more
of it
type shit.
and put some gaudy ass wheels on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love gaudy ass wheels.
I feel like if
That's
the
it.
350Z was lightweight like an S chassis and it still looked like that, I might like it a lot more. Every time I get in that car and I drive it, I'm like, why do I feel like I'm in a fucking
Bro,
boat
cars
anchor?
are not like that anymore.
No,
cars
but
are
that was
5,000
2005, Carl.
I know.
yeah.
A,
Well,
a
that was
Subaru STI with all-wheel drive weighed less than that.
it was a coming of age car.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
coming of age car.
These Zs are always way too heavy. Even a Z32 It's too heavy.
Yeah.
How much does this weigh? How much does this weigh?
They are
If I had
very
to take
heavy.
a guess, this car
These
weighs
are heavy.
3,400
pounds.
or more.
3,400
Yeah.
pounds is what my guess was.
Or more. I would say probably more.
36? What is the
So
convertible?
36 on the high end.
Convertible.
Yeah.
It's got to be 36.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a little wrong. Looks like it's
2008
33.
33.
That's actually not that heavy.
Yeah, that's not that heavy.
See, that's heavy to me.
31 is not heavy.
That's heavy to me because if you look at an S15, go look at S15 weight, and that car was 3 years before.
I hope it's close as
No, it won't
fuck.
be. It won't be.
Wow.
2,800 pounds. That's
Ah,
what a
shit.
rear-wheel drive
Wow.
car should weigh.
Okay, so a pair of seats and the spare tire,
And then someone's
the,
going to say, "Oh, but it's got a V6." Okay, cool. So it's slower and it's heavier.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
torque. You got torque.
No, yeah, just stock for stock, the Z is faster than this car. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, potential is ruined.
The IS is 3,300 pounds, 32.
No, yeah, I know, but it's a
Four-door.
four-door. It's a luxury sedan.
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot of
Z
sound.
is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
two-door. It's a sports car,
Well,
and it's rear-wheel drive.
All I'm thinking of with the Z is
crazy.
like when you peel the door skins and everything like that, how much space, like negative space there is
yeah,
from
yeah.
skin to interior. It's a fat car.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
it's
what you mean.
fat.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got a
yeah.
lot of air in
Dude,
there.
It's
Yeah.
just one of those things. Like they could have went from the Z32. The Z32 was twin turbo, right? So it's like, and you know what's even scarier? The Z32 might be heavier than that, which is fucking.
I wouldn't doubt
insane.
it.
Yeah.
Turbos.
Z32s, I think, were very heavy.
Yeah.
Especially
Look
like
at this. It's the same weight.
especially like 2 plus
Malcolm
2 and
fucking
all that.
quick. Shout out Malcolm. Holy crap.
It's the same weight, if not heavier. Z32, 3,400 pounds for a 2 plus. Yeah, what was
See?
that? Is that the back seat one?
2 plus 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Backseat one. Yeah.
TT hardtop, fucking 30. Oh my god, 3,500 pounds with a T top.
You know what's also very heavy? I realize this is the 3,000
Oh yeah,
GT.
yes. Yeah.
I read that's almost 4,000 pounds.
Yo, bring that one up.
Why
Malcolm.
are we talking? Wait, well, I'm sorry. I just checked
3,000
my phone.
GT.
Well,
Why are we
3000
talk-
GT and Z32 are the same to me. That's like the same type of.
Yeah.
I saw one of these today. Or
Look at that.
Look
What is
right
that?
there. Yeah, look, 4,000.
What is that, Malcolm? Hit show more right now.
VR4.
Yeah, see?
Okay, but here's the thing.
It's a verse.
So you basically took a Z32 and you added it all-wheel drive. So it's only going to go up. So
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
VR4 is all-wheel drive.
a
Convertible
vert.
is Spider.
And a vert.
4,100 pounds.
4,100 pounds, dude. That's
Oh my God.
That's like a mid-sized truck, dude.
So when people ask me
Koya's
why I don't
$5,000.
like those cars,
That's like a
one of the
that's like a
reasons.
crossover, man.
It's crazy, dude.
That's yeah.
Now,
it's
okay,
nuts.
now let's end this on a good note. Look up the car you like, Malcolm.
What is
The
it?
Dodge. Hellcat.
The Stealth?
Hellcat.
Oh, never mind. The one you like, that's crazy.
He does like them.
I do like
4,400 pounds.
That's different.
Hellcat, dude. Really? That's the car you
He
like?
loves that
is,
shit.
Is a
That,
Hellcat?
that thing gets.
So do you, Carl.
Hell yeah, I
See,
do.
look.
That thing gets pulled by the earth itself. That is just
4,400 pounds. To be honest with you, that's less than I thought it was going to be. So,
Yeah, I mean, for an American car built
Yeah.
when it's built, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
there's got to be an occasion where how many?
I was a weight nerd with cars. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, to me, weight doesn't matter because I'm a fan of 4 doors and bigger cars.
Yeah.
And bigger bodies.
Yeah.
So weight doesn't matter at all. to
It
me.
was weird. I always
Yeah,
was
yeah.
about, I don't know. It's probably because I had a Mini
care
Cooper.
about. I don't care about power and all that shit. So weight doesn't really matter.
Mini Cooper.
Yep. I had a Mini Cooper once, and that was the big thing. It was all about weight.
Yeah.
you know, you had to have the lightest car.
Dude, you would
That's,
have
that's what it is.
you would have hated me if I won this doohickey on the internet the other day, dude.
What was it?
Friend of ours, Kyle Reedy, I think he lives in Massachusetts or something, raffling off his first car. Okay, ready? First car was a 50s Ford, clean title, running driving, flathead V8. Okay, he had a raffle. I'm not a raffle guy. I
that'd be
bought
cool.
spots into that raffle, bro.
Why?
Because I don't know, it ran and drive. I thought it would be cool to
So
just
what
have
is
the
the
driveway,
cars
fuck
called?
around.
Do you know what it's called?
Fuck, do I know?
Yeah, I don't know shit about those cars.
We're
either.
up here. I'm appreciating it from up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking down on it. I thought
Yo,
it was cool.
I don't know if you've ever been. I know he hasn't been yet. The Race of Gentlemen in Wildwood.
Oh no! I always wanted to go. It looked cool.
You need to go.
Yeah, it looks cool.
You need to go. We all need to go this year. Dude, that was the best event I've been to.
Really?
What's
by a
funny is
mile.
I don't think I was doing anything that day.
Yeah.
I think you were.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I think I was.
Yeah.
No, I
But I
wasn't.
felt bad either way.
No,
but I think you were.
I wasn't doing anything that day.
Really?
Yeah, my bike was just broken. And then you know what I heard? I was like, oh, maybe
we all
they didn't
rode bikes
invite
there.
me. Maybe they didn't invite me because they didn't have bikes. Nope, somebody didn't ride bikes and they were all over there.
All right, now Car's mad.
Sick.
But
Do you have a water?
I wish I did, honestly.
My mouth is so dry.
I think we have beer.
No, we don't. No, we don't. But we can get.
Yeah, we're ending this thing.
Let's finish this up.
No, it's good, dude. No rush. I just feel like I'm so.
The problem is
Yeah.
the water store where we get water, they've been closed down for it's called the water
The
store.
water store? Is
Yeah,
that actually?
literally. Yeah.
It's up the corner. It's real.
And we get water from there all the time, and they're like, "Oh, we're closed for renovations," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess we'll all just die." But I should probably look at more questions.
Oh shit!
I know we.
I thought
Probably
you were
should
gonna
just
say
end
you
it.
were gonna end it.
I
but,
know. I just
'cause
feel
I'm kind of
bad.
thirsty. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, you're right. We
Are they?
should
Why
probably
don't you pick a couple good ones so at least?
yeah, I just feel bad if I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all good, dude. No problem.
Thank you for taking the time, though, Kay. Especially
good,
now that
dude.
I know you're working nights, which
All
is
good.
strategic of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's really.
You found a way to make it
it's
work.
worked out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's worked out pretty good. Thank God.
What is?
The way people word things on here is so ridiculous.
What was that?
like this one. Okay, for example, if you were working on a rusty car you didn't expect to be rusty, would you twerk it? What does that mean?
I
don't know.
Twerk it.
Does it mean? What does he mean? Would you keep working on it? I don't know.
Would I twerk it? Like, do they mean like
I don't know.
Like you're
like
drunk.
dance?
This is why I have to read them before I say them out loud. But a lot of these we already answered for sure. Lewis, the owner of the car outside the Stagia,
Oh, okay.
he said, "Thank you for doing the splitter on the Stagia. Let's do another collaboration on an older JDM." He's got a Honda. I think he may be talking about that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
dude. He was good to work with.
Yeah. He was excited when
It was fun.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna ask Kay. You know, 'cause I think he listened to the podcast and everything. Everyone knew that you were
nice.
like picky.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So he was like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's like sending it to college.
People get so intimidated now
That's
to,
good.
to
No.
reach out, but I don't want to give that kind of reputation for people to even be scared to reach out, because let's say he was scared to reach out for a small job like that. I would have never had the fun to do something like that. And that looked like a fun job,
Yeah.
and it was a fun job. So it was
Yeah.
good to make that shit work.
Also, that lip doesn't typically fit it, so you
Yeah.
made it.
It was
and,
fun.
like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
dope.
And not to
Like-
mention, I mean, he imported that thing. He paid a lot of money for it. And
Yeah,
it-
He had told me he went through the whole process of doing it himself.
So he was pretty
and
bummed.
I think he wants to do something with like the rockers eventually. Something had to get done. So I think we're going to do some more work on that car.
That's awesome. Zach is Steve, the guy we had on here earlier. Yeah, the other podcast. You
Yep.
know Zach, I think, because I think you brought him up. Maybe you don't. I'm not sure. But I thought you said that the other day. But
I don't think so.
He said not a question, but homie's real talented. And he just gave you a thumbs up.
I really appreciate that.
You got to check him out too, because
Yeah.
he's got a
I'll-
small fabrication
I'll
shop.
check him out. Yeah.
And the shit he does out of this, it's literally his parents' garage, the side
I
of
love
it.
that shit.
One car garage. Unbelievable.
So impressive for people to put out cool work in unconventional places.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's very cool. But yeah, anyone who says something kind like that, especially when they're in the craft, very much appreciated. I always thank them.
I feel the same way.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's. Oh, wait. What are some trends you'd like to see more of or less of? Is this your wife?
Yeah, yes, it is.
I had a feeling. I've seen that name before.
What'd you say? Like, oh, he's cute as
No.
hell.
She said, what are some trends you'd like to see more of or less of? But we kind of went over that. I feel like.
Yeah. We kind of went over them, and any of the trends I want to see more of is usually things that are so radical that it's not going to be a trend. so like it's weird. All the things I want.
Yeah. It's more unique stuff.
Yes,
really.
but yeah, there's a lot of things that we said that we're happy that they're gone.
Yeah. The fucking
The chassis
suspension bridges hanging off the back of the car. We're done with that.
with the little like adjuster thing for the tension.
Yeah.
Like you could see it. It's
Which
in the middle.
a lot of that shit came from racing with the front diffusers, but like they just made it into.
They ruined it, man.
Yeah.
They really think because it did have a purpose. It started with a purpose.
Yeah.
And it just trickled down. You know, when I went to college for fashion, and we would learn this thing where things would they would trickle up or they would trickle down, where This would be, it's trickling down from something that actually worked. It was a thing, and then it trickled down to the people that don't know what it's originally used for, and then ends up looking trashy.
Yeah.
It got to that point. It trickled down, and it got to the point where now, for the people that even use it for functional reasons, it looks bad now because the general public are just making it look real bad.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
So,
But on the
yeah, it's
contrary, trickling up, they would like make it more work better.
trickling up would be like, an example would be like, let's just say, for example, would be a manufacturer showing their car with really low fitment, or now making cars really low with like wide wheels because they saw what was big on the streets, people were doing on their own. Like, let's just say, for example, manufacturers saw that people were going wide. So now manufacturers know that they make wide fender flares, they do all the shit because that's what was big on the streets, and then it trickled up to being manufacturers now. So that's what, like, it would apply the same way.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah.
I feel so bad we don't have a water for you. All right, let's end this podcast.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you, man.
bro. This
No,
is
always, man.
I try to talk to these guys about what I do on my free time, so it's really nice to even just get to hear things that you were able to pass down to me just now.
Dude, of course.
So-
And I wish you all the best.
Dude, I'm
on
telling
this
you,
journey of yours
You
to become
have
better.
no idea how fucking much that changed a lot of how I see my hobby now.
You're going to
It's-
look back at this time as your most favorite time, because when you're on the come up and you're trying to learn, it really is the best. It's so exciting.
Dude,
It's so exciting.
I can't get enough. I don't know. It's fun.
It's the
I
best.
have
Enjoy
fun.
it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it every day. That's why we're doing it. Enjoy it. All this shit, everyone, when you're doing it, enjoy it or don't fucking do it.
That's the best way to end this.
Thank you so much. This has been
it.
episode, I don't even know, 100 and something. They're never going to stop. Thank you.
420.
Yep.
We're
Good
definitely going to be
night.
on for that.
Peace.
Bye. It's fucked up, though. I think we promised that one to Hayes.
What?
Your
420?
team Hayes.
For 420? Yeah.
And with that, Kay has left the building.
Yes, a living legend, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, that episode was... I say it every time, but that episode was one of the best
your
episodes.
favorites.
It really was, though. I'm sorry. What did you think about it?
It was a really good episode.
You were a spectator, basically.
Yeah, it was. I was listening intently the whole time, and it was a great listen.
And if you noticed, Carl wasn't interrupting that much.
Yeah, because that's his mentor, to
Yeah.
say the least.
Yeah, you're right.
Not a mentor, but
And you know-
not an idol, but
Not to talk
someone
shit
he
about,
looks up to.
not to talk shit about Carl, but when Carl said that he did something and then he didn't agree with it and he told him that, Carl actually took the advice.
Oh yes.
Like in a normal situation with Carl, he would clap back, fight back. Yeah. But no,
If
he
it was
didn't.
you?
Yeah, if it was me, he would have been screaming at me. But he took the advice and I was like, oh, that's cool. So obviously Carl really respects him and kind of views him as a mentor, I would say. Yeah, probably is true. But
Because he's at a spot where Carl would like to be one day, and you gotta respect somebody like that.
yeah, Carl knows that Carl's smart, man. Carl's smart. We don't give him enough credit. When he needs to take advice, he'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he pulled out the notepad,
Where did that come from?
I was like, okay.
I think it was like in a jacket or something.
I don't know, guys. I think you guys are getting a front row seat to watch Carl mature over this next year.
Yeah.
I think 2025 is going to be his year. But yeah, thank you for listening. I really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We also have something else coming for you. Me and Eddie went down to SUPRLIFE and we filmed our first shop tour video. And Eddie is in the middle of editing it right now. I guess I'm going to break the fourth wall. Eddie, you think that's going to be done by Friday? He's worried.
Ooh.
He's worried, but he thinks it's going to be done.
Damn. Crunch time. He's locking in.
So we might have this done.
You literally have probably 24 hours.
Yeah, we might have this video done for tomorrow. I personally think it's going to be the best video Eddie has ever done for us, for sure. And I think it's going to be one of our best episodes that's ever come out on our YouTube. So
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to be excited for that, or you guys are going to be excited when you watch that. I got to see some of it earlier or before the podcast last night, and Kay was stoked on it.
Yeah. You just saw a minute snippet, and he was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Yeah, we watched a decent amount of it, but it should be around 20 to 30 minutes long, and it's
oh nice.
It's a nice it's a nice tour of his shop, and you get to like see how his brain works a little bit, and you get to literally see how the layout of his shop is and what he does like on a normal work day. So yeah, it's definitely awesome. I can't wait to do more of these shop tour videos. But yeah, make sure you guys check that one out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube. We are trying to hit a certain number of subscribers this year, and it would definitely help us out if our podcast listeners checked out our YouTube. And yeah, what's going on in the shop?
The shop, we got a lot of cars in here. Getting them pumped out as the weeks go by. If you're local or in the tri-state area, come down, get your car worked on, serviced, do a whole bunch of installs, alignments.
Well, one thing I want to talk about was that we have an R34 GTT here. It's getting a lot of work done.
Yes, basically a whole suspension overhaul.
Now we're replacing a transmission, brand new RB25 transmission.
Ooh, brand new?
Yeah, brand new. Yeah. So a lot of work getting done on that car. The reason I bring it up is because we are doing a Stance XR1 coilover giveaway this month on the website, and every $5 you spend gets you an entry to win a set of coilovers. And the reason I bring that up with this car is because we are installing Stance coilovers on this car. So we're going to be doing some videos on it and some other Stance videos. But something I realized today was we're doing free shipping on Stance coilovers this month. So anything purchased over $350 is free shipping on the website for the month of February. So if you guys are interested in Stance coilovers, now would be a good time to order because you're going to get free shipping. And the shipping on coilover sets are usually pretty expensive. I don't know if it hits $100, but it's up there. So if you don't want to take your chances and you just want to order a set, now is a good time to do that. And we are going to be putting out some content involving coilovers for the rest of the month. So yeah, check out or be on the lookout for those videos.
And also, vapor honing this month is 20% off. If you go to our website, there is a link you could click to submit a form to let us know what you would like to get vapor honed, or you can give us a call or email us. Either works. But yes, vapor honing is 20% off. It's usually $95 an hour to get something cleaned. So yeah, take advantage of that if you need anything cleaned.
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, we offer a firm on the website. So if you can't afford something right now, guess what? You can just affirm it, and you can pay it off as you go.
Worry about it later.
Yeah, worry about it later. No, but I've used a firm before. I'm pretty sure it's a. What have I done? I think I did the pay in 4. Remember that time I bought a toothbrush?
Oh yeah, you did affirm.
Yeah, I bought a toothbrush and I had to pay
you
it
bought
in
the
4.
most expensive toothbrush.
It still was less than $300. I had to use the pay in 4 or whatever. Sometimes things aren't going well.
Yeah.
So I get it, but you still need a toothbrush. You still need coilovers. You still need.
Yeah. They're necessities.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are listening to this, the week of, it's February 13th right now. We just uploaded our current Origin Aero inventory on the Instagram. So if you see anything you'd like to snag, give us a call, give us an email, and we'll see if we could get it for you.
And before we leave, please check out our sponsors, Automotive Specialty Wraps,
East Coast Drift School,
and Limitless Auto Fab.
Yes, sir. Oh, and don't forget Chase Bays.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we really are big time now. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to leave a review if you haven't already, and check out those sponsors. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.